This is Steve Downs, the voice of Master Chief, Spartan 117, and you're tuned in to Next Podcast. Now, wake me when you need me.
Yo, what's going on, people, and welcome to another episode of the Next Podcast, guys. It has already begun. I do apologize. I had some technical issues, and then I had people in my ear basically fucking with me while I was trying to fix the issues. But we are here.
It just sucks as the host. I'm just saying.
I would love to see Crispy do his own podcast. Wouldn't you guys? I would love to see it. I would love to see it. But on that note, guys, it is Thursday. It is 8, well, a little after 8. You know, it is prime time, and when it comes to the topics, man, there are some weeks where gaming just gives you topic after topic.
Exotic butters.
Topic, including exotic butters. We will be getting into that as well. But no, I had to call this the drama edition episode because I feel like it's gonna get crazy tonight. I don't know why. I'm looking at these topics. I see people out there on Twitter shedding tears for games like God of War going, to PC. I see people calling out Gamepass because they have millions of subscribers, and it's stuff we got to get into. So let's hit the intros really quick. And first off, let's go to the West Coast. My brother, the man that we should start calling Scuba Steve because you already know how he's dressed right now. It is Dark Optimus. What's up, bro?
What's up, everybody?
Are you not ashamed of yourself? Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
happy to be here. K Mega's fucking soundboard would shut the fuck up for a second.
Really embarrassing, yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm happy to be here. I'm ready to get into these topics. I always love this podcast, with my brothers here at the Next Podcast. So
as long as you're not embarrassed, we'll be okay.
Yep. Well, Daddy's got to give to Pred, Pred's only fans.
That's why I never see a super chat from Dark anymore, man. All his money goes to the next man I am about to introduce, straight from the Lone Star State, and the man who gives me a bunch of shit before we go live. I guess he's trying to whip me into shape. I don't know. It must be a military thing. But Predator, what is up, bro?
So I've been a pussy. Yeah, what's going on, right? I don't even know what topics we have tonight, but it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't fucking matter. Who cares? No one cares.
You thought you saw a Halo
you don't care
in the topic.
Pussy.
So.
I know. I better see some of my goddamn Battlefield gameplay today, or I'm about to come to fucking Connecticut and put my dick in your ass.
Yo, bro. No means no. No means no. Man. Oh my goodness. Yo, next on the list. Next on the list, man.
Put that show OnlyFans too.
We're going to the man who I believe he came out with a new T-shirt, and it caused a little bit of a fire out there on Twitter. A lot of people were praising it. Of course, it says #Crispy Truth on it because it is none other than Crispy Bomb. What is up, brother?
What do you mean? Bot's over here like, oh, this new T-shirt, dude. It's been out for like a year and a half, bro.
Really?
Jay made it.
I didn't even know you had a T-shirt, dude.
Yeah, I didn't
swear.
know you had a T-shirt either.
Jay made it. Like,
he made me the more, throw it up there every once in a while.
It's only pinned to my if you click on my name, it's only pinned to the top of my
Yeah, no,
news
I don't
feed.
visit
So
your Twitter page per se, but if you're in my feed, I will read what's
I'm just saying, like that's all Jay Swan or the Graphic God. That's all him, and definitely go support him. And it's going to be a great show. I think we are all going to be hating on each other, which is always enjoyable. So let's do it.
guys love the drama. But next on the list, coming live from the 405, and we know his soundboard is working, so hopefully his mic is straightened out as well. It is my brother K Mega. What is going on, bro?
What's happening, y'all? What's going on?
There he is. There he is. Yo, what up?
You know what? I'm ready. I'm ready to spit flames tonight. I'm amped up.
Why? What did you see the topics? Is there something in the topics or just in general, man? What's up? Okay.
Ready to go?
Okay, let's.
Did you even know what that was?
Sounds
Did
good.
you even know what that was?
We didn't even hear it, dude.
Yeah. No.
You didn't hear it? Hold on,
Nope.
let's try it again.
I heard it.
Nope.
Not that time, no.
Yeah, take it out your mouth.
Are you reloading a weapon? Is that what?
Yo, what is
Well, no,
going
it's
on?
ba-
Casket
it's-
repair. What is up,
It's
Mrs.
basically
T Shizzle? Good to see the members
it was
in the building.
basically Godzilla's flame building
Yeah,
up.
no,
but
we didn't hear any of that, man.
That's okay.
Shout out
That's
to
okay.
Sir X-Man. About time I started, man. I was having issues, but we are here. We are here for you, Sir X-Man, and everybody else in the chat.
I love when Sir X-Man types in the chat because it's always in caps and it's always like he's yelling at you. It's great.
Well, it's always easy to find too if it's in caps, or it's got
True.
color around it. You know
Oh, he's yelling at Bot,
Yeah,
by the
money
way.
at
He
it.
is
Right.
yelling at Bot. Like he yells at all of us. Like we love Sir X. Like
True.
he's a yeller.
Well, guys, let's get into a juicy topic. Basically, people have been asking for options when it comes to the SSD storage expansion for the Series X and the Series S. Now we knew about the 512 gigabyte version, which is $139.99. But today it also came out that they have a 2 terabyte version. And check this out. The price for this is $399.99. Basically $400 for 2 terabyte memory storage expansion for the Series X and the Series S. Now, the funny thing about this is when the smaller version was announced, I think it was maybe a month ago, something like that, people were like, well, how come they're going smaller? We want 2 terabytes. We want 2 terabytes. So today they announced 2 terabytes, and people looked at the price and they're like, hell no, I ain't paying that much for that. Like, it's insane. Options are multiplying, though. Let's be real here. But let's go to Pred. Pred, what do you think about the new options for the SSDs? I think they will be out. I think November they'll be out. What do you think about the price for the 2 terabyte? Do you think it's too high? What are your thoughts, bro?
$399. Yeah, it's kind of high, but I mean that's kind of expected though. Like these 2 terabytes, with the speeds they have, like they're around that price range. It's right around the same price you would get for any other 2 terabyte SSD M.2 hard drive. I mean, like, yeah.
Well,
It's,
people are
SSD,
saying
I'm
for the
sorry.
computer, you can, which would also be for the PlayStation 5, you can get those for like $200.
I'm gonna say no on that. 2 terabyte with that speed, I'm gonna go ahead and say PCIe 4. No, maybe 3. You could probably get one for 3, but like I think a 2 terabyte 970 Evo right now, but it's not the same speed that you have to play those awesome games on PlayStation. It's not the same speed rate that they're looking for, but you can get a 2 terabyte for like 230, 970, somewhere in there. But if you want a 4.0, whatever it fucking is, PCIe, whatever, 980 Pro. Because Samsung, I guess Samsung is one that makes that I always hear people talk about. When I did my builds, my PC, I went with this 970 Samsung, and at the time it was expensive as fuck. So definitely worth it. for what I use it for the games I play. But if I'm gonna buy an SSD for a console, I'm okay with not having a fucking $400, hard drive for now. I'll just delete shit. It's expensive though. The game is expensive, but
Dude,
I
it's
just ask people
$100
this.
more than a Series S.
Yeah, and that's the price that they are now. Like the 980, like I said, it's 384 for a 2 terabyte from Samsung directly. And you can look at other Gen 4 NVMe's online. You could probably find some. They're going to be around $360 to $400, 2 terabyte. So, and we've had this conversation before. Those things are not cheap. When they were talking about the price of the fucking SSD for the Xbox, the 1 terabyte. Oh, it costs 120. What was it? 129, 229, 229 when it came out. Oh, it's
220.
expensive. It's too
It
expensive.
was
And then
it was 240 with tax. Yeah.
yeah. And and we the first thing we said was wait till you have to buy yours for your PlayStation. And sure as shit, like
It was
it
comparable.
was expensive. Now,
It was
now
comparable.
I've seen tests though, but I've seen people do tests on these hard drives, the cheaper ones you're talking about that fit in there. And they say that there's really no difference. So yeah, you probably could get like a cheaper low end SSD for the PlayStation. That's the thing they have on that side. You have options as far as which ones you want to get. We're stuck with the pro. God, I cannot say that word. Proprietary.
Proprietor. Yeah.
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 You still said it wrong, too.
Proprietary.
Yeah, you're still stuck with that one. You don't have an option. It has to come from who makes that? I was about to say SanDisk.
Seagate.
Seagate.
Seagate. Yeah, you're stuck with the Seagate. And I was kind of hoping like after about a year or so that they kind of open it up and let Samsung make one, maybe Western Digital make one. I kind of held on to that for a little bit, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. But you guys were complaining about not having a 2 terabyte hard drive. Now you got one. Now what you gonna do? You gonna buy shit? You shut the fuck up.
Wow.
You should have
What
seen
in
me doing my
God's
arms
name
and
was
shit.
that?
You should have seen me doing my
most of
arms
that.
and shit at the same time I was doing that. It was funny. You would have bought shit. You shut the fuck up. Forget you gonna shut the fuck up. So be quiet. You asked for it. You got it. So get your fucking 512 and be quiet, or just get the 1 terabyte. Shut the fuck
Yeah,
up.
that was the thing to me was people were like, man, we want 2 terabyte. And you already know the price of the 1 terabyte. You're thinking it's gonna be a lot more money than that, and people were screaming for it. They wanted more storage. Well, here it is, people. I don't know, Crispy, chime in on this, man. What do you think about these storage options? Again, 512 gigabytes for basically $140. The 2 terabyte for 400. Do you think that's too much? Do you like the spread in options? What's your thoughts here?
You have a 512, you have a 1 terabyte, you have a 2 terabyte, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, they're giving you options. So the 512 is basically to put you at a gigabyte for the series, close to it. So, I mean, the 512 is for those people that are like, I don't want to spend all that money. And there you go, like $130. That's not horrible. That's, maybe a controller and 3/4, maybe a controller and a half. Depends on, I mean, think about this. I've paid $180 for a controller myself. So, I mean, it's not.
Well, the 512
It's not
gigabyte,
something that.
it's the price of basically 2 PlayStation 5 games. It's about $140, $70 a piece.
And that's another way to look at it. Like that's what we're spending now. Like, well, I mean, at least like some of us, like when it comes to Xbox, it's like, hey, like we get all this on Game Pass, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. Like, so for Xbox players that have the console, are gonna be like, well, I'll drop the 130. Like if you have a Series S, you might drop the $130. I think it's completely logical. The thing is that we go into this, SSD talk, like what is what? Well, I mean, Xbox is using totally different connection technology compared to what PlayStation is. PlayStation's using like basically, PC parts.
No,
I mean,
well, no,
that's
PlayStation.
what they're doing.
PlayStation, their throughput, they have a 10-channel throughput that PC doesn't have. All right, so like they have a custom architecture as well, bro.
Okay, so what does that do for you when it comes down to it?
I mean, if you look at it, if you have 10 channels with data being able to be processed and put through 10 channels, you should get a lot more data in a quicker amount of time to the CPU to be loaded into the game. So on that note, like with having those 10 channels, like it should be fast. But when it comes down to it, they're different types of architecture. And Xbox, they did their research and how they put together their kind of like asset stream allocation and all that good stuff. And they have a pretty fast system as well. But the way PlayStation did it is they created more lanes on the highway is what they did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how they did it for theirs.
But lanes on the highway doesn't make it, move the way it should, as I like to say. I mean, you can use. Okay, here's the problem. Here's what I'm going to say about this. Here's the problem. PlayStation has an SSD that's fully, if not better, more capable at times than the Series X. The problem is that the technology that they're using is not made for it. And when I say this, I only say this because I've seen a lot of people be like, why would they charge $400? Well, if you think about it, I mean, right now I can get one for maybe $210 after it's all said and done for the 1 terabyte. So I go and look at that and I say, okay, so in the logicalness right now, I'll go and say, you save me $20 and you give me 2 terabytes. The problem I also have is that Seagate should not be the only one making it. I think, Western Digital, a bunch of other companies should be able to make this.
Didn't Jason Ronald kind of hint at the other companies? Well, I know he said that they're going to be more options.
I'm going to be honest with you. Like, this whole technology really comes from SanDisk, out of all people. Like, all companies. Like, SanDisk made this years ago, for professional cameras, which uploaded like the best visuals you've ever seen in a camera, and they use that as memory, so the picture that they took, because the camera was so good, would stay on that card and be the same after you uploaded it again, and that's something that like, that's where you go and say, like, the technology they're using is actually completely upgradable. Actually, they can make that card better and probably help out the SSD that's already in the console. And that's something that, like, a lot of people are going to say I'm bullshit and I'm a liar. That's fine. But I'm telling you right now, when you start seeing it, because at some point there's got to be other companies that make this. I'm sorry. Like, I've never seen a memory card in general, because that's what I consider it. It's a memory card technically.
I mean, it's similar in terms of what it looks like. And Crispy, when it comes to the price point, this is what I'm thinking here. All right, first off, the heatsink comes inside, the SSD storage expansion. Not only that, ease of use as well. I think you're paying for all that stuff. You just plug it into the back of the system. There's no taking anything apart. There's no, having to get a tool, which, a screwdriver, but it's a tool. Like, there's no process to it. It's just basically take it out of the package, plug it into the back of your system, and it works. I think you're paying a premium for the convenience as well as the technology, man.
Well, and that's kind of what I'm saying, because after what Pred, like, because I'm not into the PC space, when his prices are somewhat comparable to what they're doing on Xbox. So one thing I'll say is exactly what you said: ease of use. It's also, they're using different techniques than just a normal PC. And I think, as we play more and more games and as the technology gets cheaper, people are going to actually love this. And that's what I'm saying. Like, when you can get a 2 terabyte for like $200, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to be like, oh, this is kind of awesome, because it's going to play like you're playing off the actual console. And that's something that, at times I feel like people are like, oh, this is a memory card, but that's what we had back then. We had a memory card, and it was an extension of the console. And I don't know. Xbox is kind of going old school with it, but they're kind of like,
In a
this
new
is a
way, though.
simpler thing. You know what I mean? This is a simpler thing. It is what it is. Like, dude, like I'm not paying $400. I'll uninstall games. I'll do whatever I got to do to just use what I have. But for some people, like that 512 might actually be a big deal. They might want that because the Series S doesn't it has basically 512 of memory to begin with, right? So think
something
about
like
it.
that. And I got the 1 terabyte storage expansion, and pretty much that's enough for me. And another thing I was gonna say, Crispy. Now there are some people that really like to hold on to every single game, and of course with Game Pass, you're downloading multiple games, stuff like that. So I get that at a certain point, you're definitely gonna need more storage. But if you have a Series X, me personally, except for like maybe the minority out there in the gaming community, I think the 1 terabyte would be enough because you already have a terabyte in the system with the Series X. Now the Series S, like I said, I got the 1 terabyte, and I'm comfortable with that right now, man. I'm good with that. Like it's serving me well so far.
Well, the way I think of it is like, like I'm not buying one. I have a Series X, like I paid for that. But at the same time, I already have a terabyte in there. Like, yes, it's like 800 and something after it's all said and done. But, I have that memory. I'm going to use it. The problem is like you get down to like the under 600s for memory. Like you're talking like 2-3 games. Like I have like 10 games installed by my series. And like, yeah, some of them are smaller than others, but you know what I mean? Like, so somebody that like bought a $300 console and didn't do it just because that was the only thing out there, because that's what's happened to a lot of people. I'm not going to sit here and bullshit. You know what I mean? At times, like I'm sure Bot was like, yo, I want to get a Series X. And you just, you know what I mean? It wasn't in the cards. And that's where you go and say,
I would love a Series X, but right now the Series S has me on, it does me well until eventually I can get an X. That's
but what I'm saying is, here's a prime example. You went and bought the 1 terabyte, and now people that were holding out completely, like having 3 games and uninstalling to go and play with other people, now they're like, oh, 512, $130. Like, hey, that's 2 controllers, that 2 Sony games, or whatever you want to think of it. Like, why not go ahead and do that? Because I really want to have these games accessible immediately. And that's the difference now. Like, that's where the memory comes in. It's like, Series S doesn't have quite the memory, but now they're giving you options at the least. You know what I mean? Like,
and then with
it's
the
not
Series,
going to be perfect.
And then with the Series S as well, something you got to think about. That 512 option is actually better than a lot of people realize, because you're not downloading like the 4K textures and stuff like that for the game. It is kind of like, it's not as it doesn't have as much to it in terms of game downloads. The game downloads are smaller on the Series S as opposed to the Series X. So the 512, it gives you even, it gives you wiggle room to really, put the games that you want on there and stuff, because they're not as big as if you have a Series X.
Absolutely, dude. And you think of it this way, like it's the same architecture, just a downclock GPU basically. Like it's not the same. So you look at the CPU, it's gonna compress stuff just as well, if not better, because it's at a lower resolution. It only makes sense. Like they're doing things with this that many companies don't even want to mess with. Like when you got Call of Duty at like what? I mean, I've seen people have like 300 gigabit downloads if they reinstall the game. Like that's crazy, dude.
Yeah, I don't deal with Call of Duty. I've heard some Call of Duty fans like really upset at the size of that game, kind of like moving forward and stuff like that. But yo, real quick, I got to give a shout out to Sir X-Man who hit up that super chat. That is right, people. The super chat does indeed work. He says I can get a 4 terabyte 7200 RPM for my PC for $120. Facts. Now, brother, 7200 RPM, I believe you're talking about a mechanical drive. Do you have a solid state, bro? Do you have a solid state in your system? Please let me know. Shout out to a couple people. The legend HTK is in the chat. What is up, brother? It is great to see you. Of course, I see the elusive gamer is here. What is up, bro? Lady Foxfire is in the chat. That is right. She is in the building. Shout out to Lady Foxfire. It was great having you on last week. And let me know when you want to come on again. We will definitely have you on here. And guys, before we get into it, Dragonheart Yobi, what is up, bro? Good to see you, man. Guys, if you haven't done it yet, hit that thumbs up button. Share this show out on social media. Let people know where you are. Getting your gaming news and entertainment on this Thursday night. Of course, you are right here with us with the next podcast. Optimus, what do you think about these SSDs, man? Of course, people wanted a 2 terabyte, man. They really wanted it. Seagate and Xbox is giving it to them, but with a price tag that would match buying a PS5 all digital system, a whole console, man. Do you think that's too much money? And what do you think about the 512 gigabyte?
If it was me personally, and it is me personally, I would just go with buying a new console, or something like that. But that's the thing, like, if I already have the consoles and I need it for whatever I need it for, then yeah, I would totally do it. But for me, I don't need that shit. Like I don't need it. Like my Series S is a little Gamepass machine. That's what I use it for.
And now you got cloud streaming as well when it comes to new Gamepass games, man. Which is kind of awesome right there, man.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I've tested it out once or twice, so it is pretty cool. So you can basically like cloud stream it without actually downloading the game, or while the game's downloaded, play it. It's a neat little thing that they did there. And I personally don't see why people would even buy this thing. I mean, honestly, I see if you're a physical game collector or something like that, then yeah. But I haven't been physical for years now,
Well, Dark, check it
digital
out. We just
for a while.
got the download size for Forza Horizon 5 today. And to start, that's not even with like updates and stuff like that moving into the future. It is 103 gigabytes download to start.
Well, then I'll just delete everything else that I have on there. And just play Forza, like I'm not gonna really complain about it, because I mean, if anything, I'm only gonna be playing Forza, and if I can get Halo on there as well, then yeah, I mean that's great. But I mean, if I can't get both on there, then I'll just have to bite the bullet and freaking delete one, and then have to kind of like just kind of go back and forth. If I want to play Forza, I got to re-download it or something.
I tried.
I'm just not gonna spend that money, man.
I
money
tried having an external mechanical drive on the Series S when I first got it, because people are like, "Oh, it's so easy to switch back and forth." And somebody in the chat, I forgot who it was, they're like, "Yeah, I'll just use my external. Switching it back and forth is so easy." I don't know if it's just me being lazy problem, but to me that was a pain in the ass, and it wasn't as instantaneous as people had said. Like,
it's not instantaneous. Like, even on the PlayStation, it's not. Like, don't let anybody fool you if they tell you that. Like, if they tell you, "Oh, it's instant on the PlayStation," they're full of shit. Okay?
Full of shit.
It's not.
Fuck this shit I'm out. Sorry.
And it's just like on the PlayStation, it's the same thing. It takes a while for it to transfer over. But I mean, that's what I have. I have the external for all my PS4 stuff. So anything that I download that's PS4, it goes straight to the external, and I think it's a 4 terabyte external. So I'm good there. But yeah, for my Series S, I may have to bite the bullet and buy that 1 terabyte one,
1
maybe.
terabyte. 1 terabyte is
Yeah,
fine for
1
the Series
terabyte.
S, man.
I might have to if I'm gonna keep Halo and Forza on there, but I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I don't. Who knows? It might be cheaper during the holidays. You might be able to get some deals. I mean, look, Black Friday's coming up.
I say you're gonna be in
Like,
line Black Friday for an SSD, dude. Yeah.
$20 discount.
Hey, $20 is $20. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's a man after my own heart right there. $20 is $20, bro.
Hey
That's
man,
right.
that's my OnlyFans money, man. You better save that shit.
That's right. That's why I'm like,
That's
I
why
can't.
Fred
I can't
says a
spend that.
mouth is a mouth.
Can't spend that extra $20, man. I gotta keep cred.
Nice.
But yeah,
nice.
man, I get that the 2 terabyte is expensive. I mean, I get it, but I mean, Seagate's the only one that's doing them right now, and we gotta wait to see if Western Digital, is gonna do one, or if what's the other company, Samsung, gonna do one.
It'd be
we don't
interesting
know
if
yet.
Samsung does one because they're already expensive as shit. Or like, if you
They
think
are.
Seagate is expensive,
They
imagine
are.
if Samsung does a proprietary one as well. Like,
Yeah, if Samsung does one, oh my god! I mean, it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be a nice one, but is it gonna be worth the money?
all right, yo. Shout out to Arigato, hitting up that super chat. Thank you so much for the support, bro. He says you're not paying for a premium. You're paying that price because only Seagate makes them. Tesla does the same thing with their windshield, only
Right.
they make them. Yo, shout out to you, bro. I did not know that about Tesla. But Dark, what do you think about it? It's not that you're buying a premium product. I guess it's just the fact that only one company is making it. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I think right now only one company's making them, and they're able to charge whatever they want to charge for. And as soon as Western Digital gets their hands into the pot, and I don't know if Samsung's going to do it, but hopefully there'll be some competition there, and drive prices down, and people will. I mean, eventually, I think this generation we might see it go down, but I don't know, man. You never know because it's proprietary. So maybe Xbox only has a deal with Seagate. We don't know yet. We don't know.
See, and I feel like when Jason Ronald was talking in chat, definitely hit up the comment section and respond to this. I want to know what you think. When Jason Ronald was talking, we all just automatically thought, because he said about more options and stuff like that, we thought more companies would get in on this. That's what I thought. That's what I'm still hoping. But did you guys in the chat see it that way as well? Did you see when Jason Ronald was talking about this and he said more options? Did you see it as different companies coming in with their solution when it came to the storage expansion? So hit up the chat, let me know about that. But we do got to get to K Mega. He has been so patient and so quiet, man. It's crazy. You got to be playing a game right now, right, bro?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Oh man, I'm just.
I sense lies.
I'm just out here just killing Costello's people.
Oh shit! Yeah, playing that Far Cry 6, baby.
Man, shout out to Sleepy Goblin, man. I got into a funk and I was like, man, I want to play Back for Blood with other people, and it really just haven't happened. And so
I'll be there with you Monday if you're down with that, bro. Monday, because I got to work over the weekend.
Yeah, I'm down.
Right.
So I just started playing, and next thing you know, I've been hooked, and so like I'm just
that Far Cry 6 is fire.
It's not bad at all. But yeah, no, okay. So I have to disagree with the super chat a little bit because it is a luxury item. This generation is more like a luxury generation. If you think about like what we're getting and all the accessories we have to have in order to maximize.
Yo, Mega, can you get a little closer to your mic, or do you have it on your head, or?
Oh, hold on.
I want an Audi.
My bad, bro.
Like,
but
I'm good with that.
I want
bro.
people to be able to hear you. You know what I'm saying?
All right, hold on.
Luxury brand. Let me get that Audi, bro. Let me get it.
Dude, luxury, man. We're talking high-end Mercedes, man. Stop with the Audi nonsense.
Mercedes, bro. Audi will smash a Mercedes
Nah, it won't.
easily.
I have to
Yeah,
agree
bro.
with Christine. I don't agree with Christine
Audi is
very
turbo
often, but I gotta
dependent,
agree
man.
with her.
Mercedes is just straight big engine. But go ahead.
Dude, you could take that supercar and go off roading with it, bro. Trust me.
Dude,
They
you've been
make
playing
them
too
like
much
that.
Forza Horizon. Go ahead, K-Mag.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. That's better. That's better.
Okay, so no, but I mean, it is for everything. It's a luxury item. The new consoles are definitely luxury items. The Series X and the PlayStation 5, and also even for the discless PlayStation, those are luxury items in a sense because of everything that you have to buy in order to maximize what these consoles can do. If you don't have a television that can push 120 frames, or do the VRR, or now it's Dolby Vision, then it's better for you just to get the Series S. That's to me. Also, the speed aspect of it is, once you go to that point, you can't go back. Like, I mean, you just can't. I still had my Xbox One X, and then I gave it to my son because I was, I told the story that I was having issues with it, and then with the download, and then when the download finally worked, I was like, okay, all right, cool. Let me play a couple of games on it, because during fight night we couldn't have. Not everybody has a Series S or an X yet, so I was like, all right, we'll just go ahead and try to play a couple of games off of it, and just so happened that the people that were supposed to show up, they didn't show up, but but I still was playing on it, just trying to get a little practice of the feel. And nah, man, I can't go back. I can't go back, because even my
Hard,
PC,
isn't it?
no, it's real hard. And even my PC has M.2. And so got a Sony I'm not Sony, but a Samsung M.2 in it. I can't go back. I just can't go back to those slower speeds. It's like when I was playing on the 360, and I load up lips or whatever, like, oh my God, please hurry up. Come on. What's happening? It's just, I don't know. I just can't go back. So for me, it's like, I'm all for it. The more storage, the better. It wouldn't be something that I would get day one, but definitely if I could look into something in the holidays, and just like what you were saying, $20 is $20. If there's a reduction of $20, hey, I'm all for it. So if they could, if they'll definitely go down in price, but the problem is they won't go down in price until probably this time next year. So, and also I think that it's going to be one of those situations where, once the demand of the consoles is pretty much met, I think that's when you'll start seeing more of these alternates for other companies to make these extra SSDs for Xbox. Right now it's hard to get a Series X. So I mean, of course, the Series S is out there, but I mean the Series X seems to be the biggest issue. There's not enough PlayStation 5s out there. I understand that they're using something different, but I think that overall having the options is good. And we've said this. I know I've said this many of times, that look, this hobby is going to be really expensive going into this generation because of what gamers have asked for. So this is what it is. So you can't complain about it being that much. I mean, if people can spend $200+ for controller, they could spend a little bit more to get some quality.
We said $200.
space.
I mean, it'd be like buying two of those controllers for 2 terabytes of storage.
Because you said it was what? It was $360?
No, it's $399.99, and it's $400.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I mean, it's not. This stuff isn't cheap. I mean, it's just not. So I mean, there's nothing to.
What it be?
It is what it is. You can wait. You can just maneuver and play hot potato or musical chairs with your games. I mean, that's not a big issue. Or you can just go ahead and just buy it. If you
can we honestly say that the 2 terabyte is not for everybody right now? Let's be real on this. Like,
no, the price is not going to be for everybody. But again, this is the thing where you can't have people start complaining because they demand this stuff, and then all of a sudden, this is too much. This is how much. Look how much the one terabyte was. So what do you think the 2 terabyte was? You thought that was going to be cut in half? So it's not. It's just not. It doesn't make any sense for people to complain.
And they can't undercut the 1 terabyte and only make make the 2 terabyte $100 more, because nobody would buy the 1 terabyte at all.
Right. Nobody would buy the 1 terabyte. They would go straight to the 2 terabyte. So the company that's what they're in for, is to make money. So just either wait or just do musical chairs with your games, or just get or just get it. So I mean, if you need it right now, myself included, I would see about where my finances is at the end of the year to see if I can get it. If I can't, then I'll wait. If I can, I will. That's just I don't get frustrated especially with new tech, because new tech is always expensive, and it's up to you if you want to be frugal and just take your time and wait, or if you want to just go ahead and just be like me, be a first adopter and then be happy or be mad because something bugged out or whatever. That's why you got to get the warranty. But I mean, this is just the norm. For the people that on PlayStation, look, that's the one thing that they can find every way possible to try to. And that was the dangerous thing. I believe that's why Sony was locking it down for as long as they was, because they knew that there was going to be people that were going to try to find different solutions instead of the stuff that they have told gamers that they need for the speed to work properly. People was going to take shortcuts, and so again, it's a benefit for people that are lucky, that can find the right device to use, and they can probably watch YouTube. But then you know how that goes. Not everything is good for everybody. And that, especially with some content creators out there, if they could just go out and they say, "Oh man, I got this thing, and it was $120, and it's 4 terabytes. You can get it right now. Look at me as I put it in," and then they'll turn on, and everybody thinks that it works, and then they go get one, and then next thing you know, your damn PlayStation 5 is doing the hammer dance. You don't want to take any chances with that. Like, you paid $500, and Sony is not going to play no games with you about, especially if. I don't know if they'll void your warranty, but they're like, look, what kind of speed did you, what kind of M.2 did you get?
Yeah, what SSD did you get?
I'm still hung on the hammer dance. I mean,
listen, that thing's not shaking a bit. They put me in the mix. But I mean, that's the whole point. I didn't buy a console in order for it to be taken away from me because of something the ignorance on my part, or because I wanted to be cheap. So again, that's another thing about this, is that I would love to find a different solution instead of paying $400 for a 2 terabyte SSD. But again, this is what we've asked for. This is what they're offering, and you have the option to wait or not to. That's where I look at it.
That's the thing with me. There are options here. Like if if the 2 terabyte is too expensive, there's the 1 terabyte. If the 1 terabyte is too expensive, but you absolutely need the space, there's a 512. And then if you don't mind switching games over from the internal to an external, you can always use a mechanical drive that way. So there's definitely options. I gotta say, well, go ahead, bro.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Say shout out.
Shout out to Froggy T White, because he says if you buy a PCIe 4 high speed M.2, it's around $300 to $350. So the tax is not too much, really. And shout out to Six Slayer, a part of the GRG family. He says this is the going rate. He's like, I hate the fact the press keeps saying it's proprietary, and they are going to push that. It's proprietary until Xbox gets other companies involved in all this. People are going to lean on that crutch, but saying that that's pretty much the going rate. It is a little bit higher than you're looking at 300, 350. So this is 400.
What you pay for.
And
what you pay for.
Well, I mean, you're also paying for the ease of use. You just plug that shit in.
Again, I mean, it just goes back to just anything in life. I mean, this is this is the one thing about with gaming that trips me out, because people don't put that same outlook about with everything else. They'll find ways to look at it. Like, for instance, that person might say, well, I only want the finest things in this situation, but yeah, with gaming, I'm gonna be cheap as hell. But that's not how that works. Like, I mean, if you want the finest things, you're gonna have to pay for the finest things. I mean, if you want to get hamburger meat, 90%, lean, then that you're gonna have to pay for that. If you want, hamburger meat that had pink slime, then you'll be fine. Hey, wish you luck. Wish you. So,
he's not speaking for the resident butcher here. I'm just
but I'm just saying the resident butcher is not going to be silly enough to.
I go, ground beef. It's 85 to 90%.
You
85
to 90.
Listen, you need some fat for
90 is in what flavor? I mean, flavor is fat, bro.
That's why I said you need some fat for flavor. That's why it's 85 to 90
No, it's 80 to 85. That's it.
Right.
You go over 85.
Put that in the Ninja grill, or grill it and you strike it. Ain't no big deal.
And if you eat 90-10 ground sirloin, that's generally what it is. It is like eating fucking cardboard compared to everything below it.
Absolutely not. That's not. It tastes good to me. It's more healthy, so I don't care. Like,
you love the health, then I love the flavor.
I love the flavor, bro.
I mean, listen,
guys, welcome to the Ground Beef Podcast. Hit that like button, people.
Well, yeah. Now we just need is D here so she can talk about breakfast. But no, my last point of this is just, if you're gonna, it's just like with your televisions as well. If you go in there and you get a television that just says 4K at Black Friday, and you feel like, I'm good because you got you a $250 4K television, and then you're upset because it doesn't do 120 hertz. It doesn't have, the FreeSync. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles like you was expecting. Then that's kind of like the same thing when you with everything else that's going on. Like, you have to look at it and look, if PlayStation says, look, this is the type of stuff that you can use, or people that you trust that can tell you these are the things that you can use, then use that. It's the same thing with Xbox. This is the only thing that's available right now. They're not trying to have a whole bunch of consoles come back to them that's burnt up because people are trying to use some bullshit. So just you got to deal with it for right now, and it might be upsetting for at this moment, but at the long run, it'll all work itself out, man.
It's time to move on.
Yeah. Yo, I was trying to get there, man. But shout out to Six Slayer hitting up that super chat, brother, and you made me laugh while K-Mego was talking with this. He says it's overtime season. Take your ass to work and earn, brother. I do overtime every single week now, bro. I do it every single week, and that's just to pay bills, man. That's not even to get a $400 SSD. But I'm very thankful that I have the Series S. Shout out to RG Viper X. I'm very thankful that at a certain point in time I was able to get the 1 terabyte expansion, and that is holding me down. That is a little monster of a system. Yo, shout out to Sir X-Man hitting up that super chat one more time. He says, ready to see the new Back Compat games this month. Bro, are they doing that program again? Because I know Jamie's been talking about Back Compat, but I haven't seen anything from Xbox on whether or not they're starting up that program again. Because I need Kung Fu Chaos in my life.
20 years, bro. 20 years, bro. I'm just saying.
Yo, I need that. Yo, I swear, if they put Kung Fu Chaos, if they make it Back Compat, yo, you'd be surprised how much those graphics stand up to games of today with the art style and everything that they did, and how they tried to mirror those old school martial arts like movies when it came to that game. And of course, in a humorous way, I need Kung Fu Chaos. Xbox, if you're listening, please. It's Ninja Theory, man. Come on, that's first party now. Give me my Kung Fu Chaos. But guys, speaking of first party, news dropped that had, quite a lot of people upset on Twitter, but then also a lot of people who, for some rhyme or reason, did a complete 180 on the general subject of what I'm about to tell you. Unless you have been living under a rock, you know that a certain game from PlayStation will be going to PC in January, and it It is a day before my birthday. I believe January 14th. God of War 2018 will be going to PC. And I gotta say, yo, shout out to Oh No, It's Alex. I watched his video about this news, and he said something that I have personally gotten criticized about. When he was talking about God of War 2018, he said personally he didn't like the game. He thought that God of War 2 and 3, in his opinion, were a better game for him. And if you guys have been following me, you know I absolutely love God of War 3 Remastered. When I had a PS4, that was pretty much my most played game. Absolutely loved that game. The style, the fixed camera, kind of like the hordes of enemies coming in, the combo system. I absolutely loved that. And when I looked at God of War 2018, it just kind of turned me off because it wasn't that fast, frenetic style that I really liked from God of War 3. But God of War 2018, that game that people out there call a masterpiece, is going to PC in January. And it left some people, man, in tears. It left some people, there's people even spoiling the story out there on social media for people who were thinking about getting it on PC who have never played it. And if they never played it, some of them never even looked into the game. So like so this way the story would be fresh or whatever if they ever tried it. But people were out there trying to spoil kind of like the twist in that game and stuff like that. So let's go to Dark Optimus first on this one. Dark, you like playing your PlayStation. What do you think about the whole God of War 2018 going to PC and kind of like the reaction as well? I know you're on Twitter. I know you're on social media. What has been kind of like? What have you seen in terms of reactions from people on this game going to PC, bro?
Seen a lot of fucking crybaby bullshit. That's what I've been seeing. These fucking dudes, man. Come on, dude. Who gives a fuck? Who cares?
But dude, it's lowering the value of their platform.
It's lowering the value. You're not fucking special. Your mommy told you were special. She was fucking wrong. So, like, come on. Like, this is so stupid, man. Like who gives a shit? I guarantee you, like I saw something that Pred said. I think he said it in our DM. He said that
better show
that
my Battlefield gameplay. Is that what you're talking about? Because he did say that.
No, he said about Horizon, Forbidden West, and God of War, Ragnarok, possibly being day and date with PC. And honestly, I don't know, but it could be possible. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
Do you think that's going to happen eventually? Because these people are getting
it's not out of
pissed.
the realm of possibility, dude.
What
It's really not. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, but I'm asking if you think it's going to happen though.
So Sony's seeing the money coming in, and they're going to do what they're going to do to make that money. Like I think it will happen eventually. I don't think it'll happen with Horizon, but it might happen with God of War Ragnarok. Because I think Horizon's already kind of in the bag already, but I don't know. I mean, the time will tell as to when these games go day and date with PC. Does it bother me? Hell no. I don't care. Like more people playing the game doesn't matter to me. It was the same thing when Xbox decided, hey, everything's going to go to PC. All of our games are going to go to PC. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'm still going to play on my Xbox.
Dark.
Like
real quick, yeah. You know what I think's going on here? I think that if Xbox didn't do it first, and if people out there on social media didn't feel the need to automatically bash anything that Xbox was doing, they wouldn't have backed themselves into a corner where they had to be upset about this. Because, like, if Xbox didn't do it first, if PlayStation was the first one to go ahead and start doing this and kind of ramp it up and stuff, they would be praising it and it wouldn't be an issue. But it's the fact that Xbox did it first, and they had to attack Xbox about it. So now they can't look like absolute idiots and do a 180. Although some some people went the 180 route. If you saw MBG's kind of like short video on it, he did a 180 route on that whole thing. He's like, no, guys, it's gonna be okay. Like, it doesn't really bother us console people. Like, he did a complete 180 on it. So there's gonna be some of them.
I mean, it doesn't bother that. I mean, he's right, but I mean,
but yeah, he was one of the first people to say that.
Too bad he had to do a 180 on that,
Yeah.
but but it's like. It doesn't matter. It's if you're a console gamer, you're gonna stay a console gamer. Like, you're not gonna go to PC just because those games are going to PC. Like, it's just, if you already own a PC and you primarily play on PC, then good for you. You got the games that come to PlayStation now. You don't have to have a PlayStation. You don't have to own anything else except for a PC. But for us console gamers, yeah, I'd rather buy. Let's see. I bought my PS5 for $399.99, right? And my Series S for $299, right? That's cheaper than what a PC I could get right now that could run those games at a
spent a little over $700 on 2 consoles.
Right, but that's cheaper than me getting a PC that could run, these games, these brand new games at a great quality.
You better be careful, because there's some PC Master Race people out there be like, well, no, technically, if you get this CPU, this GPU, and you crosswire here.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't want to do any of that shit. So, and I ain't gonna do any of that shit. So I'm good. Like I don't care. And honestly, any console gamer shouldn't care.
Yeah, like I don't understand this. I really believe in I think Xbox had the right idea here. Like, if you're a console gamer, you're gonna look to buy a console. You're a PC gamer. They want you to also play their first party titles, invest in their games, their services, stuff like that. If you decide that you're gonna switch over to PC, they can still keep you as a consumer, because the Xbox ecosystem is also on PC. And I think Sony sees that, and they're like, you know what, we're gravitating over there as well. So to do both the console and PC thing, I think day and date is on its way when it comes to PlayStation.
It's on its way. It's definitely on its way. It's closer than it isn't close. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of people who think that it's not close at all. I think it's a lot closer than people think.
That I do as well, man. And it's funny, because the people who say, oh, they'll never go day and date, are the same people who said God of War would never go to PC and stuff like that. So they're striking out right now. You know what I'm saying? These people, they don't have a great batting average when it comes to predicting this stuff, and it just seems to keep getting worse.
That's why you never predict anything. You just say your opinion, and that's it.
You just stay safe. I like putting myself out on a limb and predicting stuff.
I mean, you can put yourself out on a limb and put out your opinion, but you never guarantee anything. Because some people.
Or can you take the L? You got to take the L. You
right.
Say,
or you could take.
I should not have said that.
A lot of people can't do that shit though. A lot of people can't take the L. If somebody came to me and said, "Hey, you said this and you were wrong," I'd be like, "Oh, okay."
That's a sign of maturity to be like, all right, well, if you give me the evidence and you prove I'm wrong, you know what I'm saying? Then okay, I was wrong. My
bad. Crispy proves that I'm wrong all the fucking time.
Well,
don't
do that.
Fuck you, Crispy.
I just heard his head get bigger right when you said that, Ben. Like,
it didn't. It really didn't.
Do I say "fuck you, Crispy"? No, I say, "Oh, yeah, man, I was wrong." Okay.
He says I was wrong. Okay, and then he says "fuck you, Crispy" after the fact. Like, well, speaking of Crispy, let Crispy get in on this. Crispy, what do you think about this news? What do you think about the reaction? What is some of the reactions that you've seen out there on social media, bro?
I mean, let's be honest. Like, a lot of us, it was on this podcast, I believe, we're saying. I think K Mega was with me on this one for when they invested in Zura servers, and we said, "Oh, shit's going crazy now.
Shit's going down."
We I'm telling you, there's a lot of podcasts that are, yes, we're Xbox centric. We play a lot of Xbox, but a lot of us have different consoles or have played on different consoles for our entire life. You know what I mean? So what are you to tell me that I'm just like being biased? No, I'm just telling you how it's going right now. Like, I'm 30 plus years old. Everybody on this panel is 30 plus years old. You know what I'm saying? We played games when there was no online. There was none of this.
So true.
All
That
I
is
see
true.
now is younger kids, even like my girlfriend's son's 14 years old and he's on Oculus constantly and he's playing with other people. You understand what I'm saying? If you're going to sit there and be irrelevant to the fact that eventually you're going to get so old that you might be playing games, but you're going to be playing the simplest game possible. Or you're going to look at these kids that are like, I want to play with other people. I want to beat them. Even if they're cheating, whatever else. Why do you think Call of Duty still got a fan base? I mean, come on. Fortnite. Come on. How many cheaters? I can count like, on my hands and feet, like half of the cheaters that I found on the internet for Fortnite. Okay? And it's multi-console, multi-fest. It's still a phenomenon. It still has hundreds of millions of players that play every week. Like, and it's free to play. Like, Halo is going in a different route. I'm telling you, people are going to go fucking nuts for this game. And, this is where I go and say Xbox is just thinking different. And you know what? PlayStation is starting to think different. The problem is that the culture they've built themselves as a company is hindering them because they've said things that they've already made not true. But at the same time, it's like, how much more am I going to look like a liar when it comes down to it? Because there's receipts now. There wasn't receipts 10 years ago.
Crispy. There's always been receipts when it comes to PlayStation and the shit that they pulled. Even back to the PS4 with trying to say that Watch Dogs was 1080p, 60 frames per second on the PS4 and stuff. And that's why
we're not even talking about PS3 or PS2,
that's
bro.
That's why I gotta ask you this, because you say, like how much are they gonna do? But and they created a certain kind of like aura, a certain community around PlayStation. But do you really think that if they do go this route fully, which I feel they are, I feel day and date is coming. They look at the money that they can make for the people who don't invest necessarily in the console, but they're going to grab the software. I think they see that and they are definitely going in that direction. Do you think anybody's really going to hold them accountable when they do the full swing and they start putting like their games out there day and date, or do you think they're just going to accept it and kind of keep going and be like, well, that's the way the industry's trending anyway. That's why Sony did it.
Well, let's be honest for a second. I mean, besides Nintendo, Sony's a darling. It is. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like we wouldn't be playing the games we do now if it wasn't for Sony. Like PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 1 were just like ridiculous compared to the competitors. Even Sega, I'm sorry, dude. Like I play games on PlayStation, play games on Sega. I don't know. Like once I got into PlayStation,
but Sega,
even the 2, dude. Like before,
Dreamcast was head and shoulders better than PlayStation 2. Bro.
No, but they didn't have the IPs, bro. That's where I go and say, like, dude, like I look at games and I always like I'm walking into Blockbuster, dude. That it will never leave my mind because when you walk in and you see no games for one and a bunch of games for the other, that's where the problem lies. Not saying that the Dreamcast couldn't have made better games. Whatever they did inside that console was the problem. I'm not going to sit here and analyze.
They made it easy to burn games, is what it was, and then
well, not just that. It actually made it hard to make games. If I'm not mistaken,
no, that you are mistaken. That's not true. It was fairly easy to make games for Dreamcast. Like the PlayStation 2. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but it came out before the Dreamcast. If I remember correctly.
No, I think the Dreamcast came out first.
Around the same time. All right,
came
but
out what 2000?
PlayStation had the popularity, therefore.
No, the Dreamcast came out in '99.
Yeah, but I thought the PlayStation came out in 2000.
It did.
Okay.
So it wasn't like it was real close. It was like I think it was almost a year, dude.
Almost a year. Well,
Yeah.
the PlayStation name coming off the PS1 also had more popularity as well. Therefore, you know, you look at the library, and they had a huge library on PlayStation 2, and they also had a huge library of Japanese games on the PlayStation 2 as well. And I think it was just the PlayStation's name and popularity at that time coming off, you know, the PlayStation 1, and you know, it is what it is on that. But
well, let's be honest for a second, Bot. It's easy to hate the $1 trillion company over the $100 billion company, and the one that has fostered gaming into a new age, and the other that is just bringing gaming into a different age, which is brand new to any of us. You know what I'm saying? Like all this multiplayer shit. Like that's what they're going after. Like look at how Sea of Thieves is received right now. Like with the Jack Sparrow update. Like, dude, like nobody has anything bad to say about the game, and that's where you go and say,
yo,
okay,
that one
like,
update squashed all the stigma about Sea of Thieves. Let's be real,
dude. I haven't seen anybody bring that up. They bring up Crackdown 3. Crackdown 3 is trash. I'm sorry. Like I know.
Crackdown 3 come out.
I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Like that's, you know, okay, you could bring that up, but then you bring up like some people bring up Grounded. I'm like, dude, Grounded's not even done. Like Obsidian's gonna make this game into its own little world. That's what they're gonna do. That's what Obsidian does. They make their worlds. You know what I'm saying? So you think Avowed ain't gonna be, dude? They might be updating that game for fucking 10 years, bro. You have no idea. You know what I mean? Like they will bring out an update and they will do some kind of crazy shit with a trailer, and then they'll show some gameplay, and they'll be like, you'd be like, oh, I'm fucking in this shit again. You know what I mean? And you might not have played it for months. Like that's what Xbox is doing right now. I just see it. That's their style right now. They're like, you know what? We have an IP. We've made this game. It runs really good. Let's make it better in its own way without messing with anything. And let's add DLC on top of it. And that's what they've been doing. And, you know, everybody can hate on it, but it's the multiplayer aspect of games. And, I mean, if you haven't played MMOs or anything like that, you don't know what we're talking about.
Yep.
But if you have, you do. Like Bob plays Destiny all the time. I play Gears. Dude, it totally different games, totally different ways to play them. But the fact is that I play with other people, and I also earn new things as they release new DLC. And if that's what I like, that's fine. I'm not sitting there hating on anybody that loves a single player game, just sit there by themselves. I just told these guys earlier, Fallout 4, Fallout 3, downloaded them. Those are single player games, people. Play by myself. Okay? So don't sit here and, you know what? It's a different type of single player game.
Did Crispy just say he plays single player game? Wait, did Crispy just say that?
I hear the angry.
Yo, real quick, shout out to Sir X-Man hitting up that super chat one more time. And guys, it's funny. He says PC is PlayStation and PlayStation is PC. Guys, we got to start putting that out on Twitter. Come on, people, we're missing an opportunity here. Shout out to Sir X, man. That was an awesome super chat, bro.
Piss off
Sir X, dude. Like, but he's not wrong.
You just put it. You put it. Hashtag PC is PS.
Maybe you feel a little dirty inside. I don't know.
A little grimy. Little bit. Yo, K Mega, what do you think about this whole God of War thing? Now I know you played God of War on PS4, and this is kind of why I left you and Predator kind of off at, you know, to the end here, because I know you guys played it originally. Dark, did you play God of War?
Yeah.
All right. I'm not sure if you were a fan of it, but I know K Mega like had like a whole 180 when he actually got a chance to play it. So K Mega, are you gonna double dip here? Are you gonna get it on PC as well? And what kind of reactions have you seen out there in the Twitter sphere and social media, bro.
You know what? I already knew what was going to happen, and I've been busy, not only with gaming, but I've been busy with just other things in real life. And listen, you can only see so much people crying, whining, complaining, acting like they didn't know that this was going to happen.
We told them.
And listen, we've told them. They knew. Sony told them. Jim Ryan told them. Ever since, and that's why I did post something once I did see it was announced, that something that I posted back in 2020 about when we first found out about PlayStation Studios, when they changed the name to PlayStation Studios.
Mm-hmm.
I said right there that, and I remember when people were trying to make this crazy. I don't know. There was so many different scenarios that they were giving for the reason that it was changed to PlayStation Studios instead of the logical one. The reason why they're doing that is because they want to put more of their games on different platforms. That's all that was. That they want, and in that article, that Guma Sutra article, he said, "Look, we want other people to see that." It says Sony Studios, and they get to see the PlayStation symbol and logo and all that. Well, then who else is going to see that if it's only going to be on PlayStation? When PlayStation gamers see it every time they boot up their PlayStation. I mean, and that was a point that I was trying to make back in 2020. But I go all the way back to the multiplayer when I was on that podcast, and when it came down in 2016 when we first found out about the games going over to PC and the whole
Xbox games.
Yeah, the Xbox games, and when it was I can't think of the name. The Remedy game,
Quantum Break.
Quantum Break, right? And it was just a laugh fest, and I was on there, and Port Rock and all them, they're just going crazy, and I said, listen. It's going to be funny when they do it to you too. I hope somebody goes back and check those clips. Go back to those times and I said it directly to them. I said, it's going to happen. And of course they laughed, and they and the people in the chat called me everything, saying, except right now, you know what? I don't hear anything from those people because they know. And every time that I could read something that they post or whatever, I just laugh because they know that I'm right. And I know that they've seen the tweet, if I'm not blocked. I'm pretty sure I'm blocked from quite a few of those fans out there. But they know that I'm right. And I was right then. I said it back in 2016. And so and then I even put more emphasis on it in 2017. And then then it just popped up when we started seeing more and more games. Well, God of War is not going. Only games is going over there is these old games. Watch Bloodborne. All the rest of these games are going to start going. And now we're looking at people saying, "Well, this is smart PR because they're going to have this game be promoted for PC gamers to get the old God of War and get people to want to buy a PlayStation." PlayStation 5 for the new God of War. That's not how PC gamers work.
Yeah, that's definitely not how PC gamers work.
That's not how PC gamers work. So again,
they'll wait.
the PlayStation fan right now that are concerned about this and don't like it are going through what Xbox gamers went through at the beginning in 2016.
Well, I didn't go through it because I didn't care.
Well, no, I didn't care. I was like, this is smart. Xbox is getting killed in sales. The name is getting ripped through the media, through fanboys, through this, that, the third. This is also, but you know what? Their games are going to go over there to PC, and people on PC are going to buy them. Even though some people might sit here and say, "Oh, Sea of Thieves, the Kraken is lacking," and hold up their nose. Now look what happened: 25 million concurrent players. That is stupid. That is crazy, and that just shows right there that Xbox was well ahead of the curve. And Sony was over here living off of the old trope. And now they got to play catch up. The one good thing for them that while they can survive it is because of their games portfolio, but you can only have those games come out so often, so many times before you'll start seeing even PlayStation fans start saying, man, can we get something a little bit different? Can we get something new? Can we get something a little bit new? And then at that point, that's when I feel like PlayStation is going to be like, all right, let's go ahead and put these games out here day and date. Because they're not going to wait they're not going to, because, okay,
no, just something off of that, because you're like, can we get something new? Dude, they're already planning that. We saw that they acquired the development studio Nixxis, who is known for creating ports to PC. Like, how much bigger of a sign do you need that they are going to be doing this, and they're going to be doing this sooner and sooner when it comes to their games? And I think eventually it's going to be day and date, bro.
And that's denial. And that's the point that I'm trying to make, is that, look, it's going to get to a point to where they are going to do it, is it's because the gamers themselves, and I'm starting to hear a couple of rumblings. Like I've seen some people say, man, we're going to do another remaster of The Last of Us. And then that's going to be another remaster of something else. I mean, we're hearing a remaster of Bloodborne. Like, if they're going to keep doing that, they're going to get their fan base pissed off to the point to where they're like,
why do they keep doing that if they endorse backwards compatibility and
they don't, but they don't endorse it. It's just lip service. They're doing the same thing that they were doing last gen. The only thing that just stamping it on it is director's cut or remaster. That's it. And that, I mean, that's it. But my whole point about the whole PC thing is that the PC gamer is going to look at all this and be like, yeah, give me more. Give me as many PlayStation exclusives as you possibly can. I'll take them. Matter of fact, I want them as soon as possible. How about you give them to me now? Give them to me now, because what you don't want to do is keep waiting to where people keep spoiling stuff, like I was just hearing. I didn't see any of that, but I believe it 100% that people were spoiling it for PC fans and things like that.
Oh yeah, because they're mad.
Yeah, because they're mad and they act like children. So again, they're going to be like, hey man, if we sit here and just think about like something we can really brag about, if we could just put this new version of whatever that they're going to be bringing out, and let's put it out here at a day and date, and let's see how it does on PC and on PlayStation. We can sit there and show those sales numbers and just make people go crazy. And I guarantee you, when the day that they do that, and they put those sales numbers behind it, then they're going to just blow that over just like everything else they blow over, because that's something that they could talk about that's going to be so quote unquote better than what Xbox does. And then it's going to turn into, well, PlayStation is taking over PC now. PC belongs to PlayStation. What? It's already, man, this is already being played in the cards, man. They're so easy to read.
So, K-Mega is not lying right now. Like, dude, this is absolutely... I can definitely see this happening, man.
Yeah, so this is one of the things about it when people don't hold people accountable, and we see this everywhere. I mean, from politicians on down the line. If you got people that will come out here, make videos, tell you, demand that you stand up for your rights to not have these games go over to dirty old PC, and then they do it anyway. Instead of them revolting towards Sony, they just go ahead and then they say, well, you know what? You see what the people do? Like, well, that wasn't my tweet. I never said anything like that. Don't worry about that. Or then you got what you said, that one dude that said, it's going to be all right, everybody. It's a good thing.
Yo, you saw that video, MBG? Like,
no, I don't pay attention,
dude, you got to watch. Dude, it looked like he was going to cry.
If I glance through and I read it, or if somebody shows a clip, that's the only time, me just going and wasting my time watching that stuff, because it's just, that's what I'm saying, people don't get held accountable. And I don't want to hear these excuses about people saying, oh, well, man, I need to change. Look, can I have the right to change my thoughts? Yeah, you can change your thoughts, but since you change your thoughts like you change your draws, now it's coming to seem like you just like to lie. Because I mean, you can only, if you came in not liking that Xbox, didn't like that Xbox was moving their games over to PC, then you should have that same energy for Sony doing that as well. Because only thing that Sony did was just wait a little bit longer. Those same they're the same games. There's nothing different except for however people's PCs are, how powerful they are. It'll look better. And so that's one reason why I support it, and that's why I'm going to get God of War once it drops, because I know that it'll be on the same tier of the PlayStation 5. And if I can go ahead and I can give me one of those new cards, because that's going to be probably going to give me a new Ryzen chip, and then I'm going to give me a new card. And that's it. And then I'm done for a really long time. And then that's it. And that's going to, and I'll make sure that that's going to be.
New card. They got the Halo Infinite 9600.
I saw that. But that's the only upgrades that I'm going to do to my PC. And then I'm done for a really long time. And then after that, I'm straight. So yeah, I like playing my games on an Xbox controller. I have no problem of supporting PlayStation. I'm going to give you a PlayStation 5 eventually, but where I'd rather play is on Xbox and on PC. That's just where I like to be. And if the more PlayStation games they want to move over to PC, the more I welcome it, because I have no problem of supporting that company. I just want to have the flexibility and the comfort of playing my games off of the Xbox controller. That's just me personally.
I got you, bro. I got you. Yo. Oh, real quick, and then you can chime in, Dark. DJ Birdo Doss, yo, shout out to you, man, hitting up those super chats, and he's trying to get me in trouble here. I can see this right now in the second one. But the first super chat, he says, I didn't hear Crispy say the word visceral not once tonight. And guess what? The super
Visceral.
Chat. There you go, Birdo. There you go. He says, and guess what? The super chat works, people. Slap that like button. Shout out to you, DJ Birdo. Thank you so much. And he also said, Bot, this is where he's going to get me in trouble. Ready? Bot, help me out. Is this how you say it? Pegasus? Pegasus? You know.
Visceral.
Yo, shout out to Birdo, man. That was incredible. Yo, the super chats tonight have been absolutely hilarious. Guys, keep them coming, yo. It's absolutely, I love seeing them. Shout out to the chat as well. You guys are amazing. I'm reading what you guys are talking about. Yo, keep it up. I love seeing you guys respond to the topics and everything like that. Dark Optimus, what were you going to say before I go to Predator?
One thing is that people don't realize, or they refuse to realize, is that no matter what, even if you buy your game on PlayStation, or you buy your games on Xbox, or you buy your games on PC, you're supporting these companies.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and if you buy God of War on PC, you're still supporting Sony. So it's
exactly.
It's not a problem. It's good. It's good for people to have access to all these games.
K Mega, what are you talking about, man? You are devaluing the PlayStation 5. Is what you're doing.
Dude, I mean, every game we've talked about that's been on PC and Xbox, they're all pretty damn fucking good, bro. Like in their own way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I was just going to say, you know what's devaluing is when a PlayStation game lasts for 3 months and then it's already $20.
That is the definition of devaluing right there.
So, yeah, that's devaluing. So it's best
getting messy now.
No, listen. I looked and I was like,
it's the drama edition. We could do that, bro. Drama edition.
God of War is only $29.99, and it's been
plus shipping and handling.
Yeah, well, you can buy digital for $29.99, and then shit. By the time it got to Black Friday, it was like for $9.99, you can go ahead and get this
plus
God of War
shipping and handling
value pack. What? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
It is what it is, man.
All right, yo, Predator again. I saved you guys for last because, especially you, Pred, because you really kind of go in on PC and whatnot. And as you can see, you don't have to be mad at me. Your Battlefield gameplay is in the gameplay for this week. But dude, what do you think about this announcement here, God of War? Are you gonna go in and pick it up on PC? And what do you think about the reactions? What are some of the reactions you saw when this was announced, bro?
Honestly, I'll go with the reactions first of it. I kind of expected that from the fan base anyway. They've done it every single time that a game goes to PC. It's a PlayStation game, so I kind of expected it. And I actually forgot about Uncharted going as well. I don't know if y'all saw that in the chat. I totally
I did.
forgot that was going to PC as well too. I mean, it's almost like that community, Pegasus is whatever he said earlier.
Pegasus. Yeah.
Like they forget that this was kind of like the writing on the wall. Like I think the way Microsoft did it, it was just like smack, we're doing this, and then we have to deal with it, versus and we had no idea that was coming. It just kind of showed up one day, But like with the Sony community, like it's just been like a slow, like the stick in a tip in.
Dude, Predator. It's like an abusive relationship to some of the extremists over there. Like they get smacked around, and then PlayStation comes back. No, we love you. I'll give you a hug. No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. And then a week later, they come back and they do it again, man.
Eat the cake.
Yeah.
But they beat them with a wooden spoon, and then they feed them with that wooden spoon.
There you go.
Wow.
But I mean,
they spoon feeding their community. I mean, come on, man. Let's lie about it.
Damn, bro.
You're right. I mean, it's just as far as me getting the game, I don't really replay a lot of games. I would probably replay God of War, and maybe even Ghost of Tsushima. Those are the two that I really liked on the PlayStation side. So, I'm kind of on the fence right now as far as buying it, because it's got the price tag of $50 on it, something like that on Steam right now. So I may do the whole, get it on Steam, play it for a little bit, see if I like it, and then return it because they got that exchange policy over there. I may do that a little bit just to see if I really want to get back into it. But I mean, I didn't platinum God of War, but I did pretty much finish everything. The only thing I had to do was beat that last Valkyrie at the end. That the one with like the biggest fucking health bars combined, all of them. Like, yeah, that motherfucker was kicking my ass. But that's the only thing I really need to do. Look at this fucking kills, all these kills right here. Look at that. That's on PC, guys.
Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Hey, PlayStation guys, look at it. It's on PC. It's on PC. Just like God of War will be. Oh, sorry.
But yeah, right. So like, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I'm on the fence if I'm gonna get it. I really want to see the port. Like, if they did anything to it to make it look better. And mind you, I played on the PC. I played on the PlayStation 4. I didn't play on the Pro. Right, so visually, it's already gonna be a step up from what I played. But
it's gonna run better too. Yeah,
it's gonna run better too. Like, I guess my biggest gripe on this, it would be like, it would have been nice if they did have some DLC and it all came together in this one pack. But they didn't. I don't think they had any DLC for God of War.
No, but they're adding stuff though.
What are they adding?
Stuff. I don't. Oh man, I gotta look it up.
They're not adding anything to it.
I swear they said
it didn't say anything about adding anything.
They didn't add anything. There was nothing there. Only thing that they were going to do DLC, but
they're adding certain PC features. Yeah, they're adding certain stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
I'm
they're
sure
not adding like DLC or
like
anything.
120 frames per second mode or something like that. Like, I mean, like, like that would be the only reason I would really want it, was to be able to play it at the higher fidelity. But like, the story ain't changed. I mean, it's the same fucking game. It looks better now. So I don't know. I'm as far as getting them on the fence. But again, I'll go back to the whole Pegasus Nation. What the fuck they're called now? Pegasus peasants. They
who said that again, man? Yo, Birdo. I'm not gonna forget that, dude. I'm gonna make that a thing, dude.
It's like, bro, like, y'all see this is coming, right? Like, this whole day and date thing's gonna happen at some point in time. And I really thought I got this helicopter on this one. It wasn't me.
He's too busy watching his own gameplay, people.
Hey, this is some good gameplay today on that shit. But I just like, come on, y'all gotta see this shit. Like, it's coming, bro. Like why the fuck is this so hard? Like it's coming.
Just look at the Studio Nexus that they bought. Come on, man.
But not even that. Like, when so like sign, as soon as I saw them make a Steam page, that's when I knew. Like, I was like, that's it. here we go.
PlayStation Studios.
It would not surprise me if they went with. And keep in mind, a lot of people can't get a console, right? So like, you get this hot ass game coming out. I mean, I know they've sold a shitload of consoles, but like, who's actually the user engagement on some of those games, like Ratchet and Clank and stuff like that came out this year? It's pretty low. Like, they play that shit and they put it down after 6 hours and they pick it up again. So what better way to get people engaged in your games than to put them on PC day and date? Because you can get a PC. You can go out to the store, fucking Best Buy right now, build a PC. You can't find a fucking PlayStation anywhere. So like,
That's a great
if you're trying to make some
point.
money on your fucking games, put them day and date on fucking PC, because anybody can play on PC. You can play on a fucking laptop. I mean, it's probably gonna look like shit, but you can still play this shit. Like, but I can build a PC a lot faster than I get a fucking PlayStation 5 right now. So, you know, when the next God of War comes out, what's their next release? God of War comes out in
Horizon. I think it's
Horizon is
Horizon Forbidden West.
Was that
Horizon
February?
Forbidden West comes out in February.
Yeah,
Which
February
probably get pushed
25th.
to fucking April because they're gonna delay that.
No,
So,
I will honestly say I think Horizon will come out in February.
Yeah.
I don't. Okay, fine. We'll play that game. Horizon comes out in February, but like, how many people are gonna be able to get a PlayStation over Christmas this year? Play that game.
Great
You know,
point.
so
That is a great point.
so put the shit day and date PC, and you know, the people who decide that they can get a PlayStation 5 and, you know, over Christmas or maybe sometime, and because like the chip shortage ain't changing no time soon, right? Like, at least that's what I've been seeing on the news. Or we're gonna be dealing with this till December 2022. So like, I mean, you're gonna have these games come out, and then no one's gonna be able to play them because they can't play them on anything. But if you put them day and date on PC, you actually expand that ability for people to play the game. So I can see them either doing day and date, or it's gonna be really, really fucking close to it. You know, like a month or two, you know, and put it on PC. But and again, like you talk about the company they bought, that's what they're there for. You know, maybe that's what the problem was and why they couldn't do it before in the first place, because they didn't have anyone to make those ports fast enough. You know, they had their own internal studios doing it while they're trying to make other games, and so they had to hire somebody else to do it for them.
Dude,
So
that makes sense right there. Absolute
makes
sense.
perfect
I mean,
sense.
so we'll see. I mean, like, I just do it. They just need to say fuck it. Let's just do what everybody else is doing and play that game. And I know the fucking world will burn on the PlayStation side for a couple of weeks. They'll be all right, man.
For a couple weeks, and then they'll warm up to it and be like,
Yeah,
"Yo,
they'll be fine.
look
they'll
at
play
those."
PC.
Like K
Right.
Mega said, yo, look at those numbers put together. Now PlayStation owns PC as well. Like, that is exactly what will have. That will be the spin that they use.
And then let them in the PC Master Race have it out. Like, that's good.
Just sit back and watch.
You just sit back and watch.
And here's the
Generation
other part
X,
of it
we
too.
sit back and watch the world burn.
When they see Halo go to PC and they see all the money Halo's going to make on PC this year,
it's over.
Yeah, they're going to be shoot me some of that. We should be doing that too. You know,
I think they already seen it, especially like with Forza. They put when they put GT 7 on PC, right? Like, they might start off with GT Sport to put it on PC, but I don't know if I was Sony, I would go ahead and just put GT 7.
I would just do 7. I would just do 7. I mean, for
don't
sport,
put
you
sport.
know?
Yeah, don't do sport. But because
lead with your better foot,
man. They're getting their ass handed to them by the Forza franchise. Like, it's not even funny what it's doing on PC. It is. That's the go-to racer now. On GT is still popular, but the go-to racer is Forza Horizon. Period.
Oh yeah.
And if motorsport is anything like what we think that it's going to be, my God, just think of what they're really what's going to happen then. So the writing's on the wall. Fred is absolutely 100% right. Like, they got to make these moves. They got to.
Yo, dude, again, it's another thing that people don't realize, like, because we're talking about games going to PC, and that kind of ties in with subscription services, because people think that PlayStation isn't going to have a subscription service either. But I got to let you guys know, the entire world is going subscription service. I just heard on the radio a commercial for, I don't know if you guys know Circle K. kind of like corner store gas station type thing.
Yeah, oh
Kind
yeah, oh
of
yeah,
big.
Circle K, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
dude, they have a subscription service for beverages
Oh,
now. Like you pay a certain amount per month, and you can go in and get like
Shoot,
however many
car washes
beverages.
have that shit now too.
Dude, the entire world. This is what's going on, man. And the funny thing is, people laughed at Xbox, but Xbox, like K Mega said, they have been ahead of the curve with all this stuff. All this stuff.
And what's the saddest thing is that PlayStation had the first dibs. They had first dibs to do this and really put Xbox in a really crazy compromising position. Because just think if they weren't greedy when they bought Gakkai, I think that was the name, and then they started PlayStation Now, and they did anything that was close to what EA was doing when they heard about EA Access, it would have been over. I mean, even as an Xbox fan myself knows if PlayStation decided to do, see, that's the problem with PlayStation. That's the one thing about PlayStation that is lost. They still innovate, but they don't innovate like they did when they first came on the scene. But once you get to a certain point, and that's with anything and everything. Once you get to a certain point, you hit the highest highs or whatever, then you tend to get more lax. Sony was all about that innovation. If this was back in the Sony PlayStation 1 and 2 era, there would have been no doubt in my mind that if they was going to do something, they could have tried to make something, maybe not like Gamepass, but something to the effect, and then try to make it right for the consumers. But now, after this whole situation, after the PlayStation 3, it's all been, and I understand it's always been about money, but it almost felt like Sony, to a certain extent, was a little bit more was customer friendly back then compared to they was when you went to the PlayStation 3. That's when they changed that ideology about, well, you know what, it's $600, it's no big deal. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
just get another job.
Work a little bit. Just get another job. Work a little bit harder. That's when everything started changing. And so just think if Sony just went ahead and did something with PlayStation Now to the effect of, let's say, EA Access, where they made those games affordable, even though the internet wasn't right yet, people would have not gave up on it. And then if PlayStation just kept on saying, look, just keep giving us a chance. Keep giving us a chance. Here, have this for $1. Here, have this. Just join our membership. It's all right. Just think of when they implemented that strategy with PSN, where they would be now. Xbox would be in trouble.
Oh yeah,
serious trouble.
The only thing I don't want is it to be completely service. Like completely, every game's is just on a service, and that's all you can do. It's just do a service.
That's going to be up to the consumers over time,
right?
Right. If it does,
I still want to buy my games. I still want to buy.
I mean, you can still
games,
buy. You can still buy music CDs, but like,
yeah.
Who does it though?
But I mean, this is the thing though. Like, this is the one thing that trips me out about this, and I've said this before. Like, if you're a collector, then I understand it. But if you're just a consumer that just want to be on that want to die on the hill, I want to see a physical game in my hand. Well, once they shut them servers down, like, you know what I'm saying, that shit is a coaster.
You ain't
just
gonna be able to do nothing with that.
That shit ain't nothing but a coaster. So I mean, that's the
use
thing.
It as a decoration.
Right, you can hang it on a Christmas tree going up next year. I remember that game; it was so great till the servers went down, because that's what it's all. That's where it's going to. But yeah, you're right. It's the consumer that's going to make the decision if this is where we're going to head in gaming. And as we're already seeing, this is where we're going, because a lot of people are taking it in, and that's why I keep saying gamers got to stop always thinking that gaming is separate from every other entity out there when it comes to entertainment and things like of that nature, because it's all going to that way. It's about efficiency. It's not about having clutter anymore. It's about everything being efficient and easy on the go.
Well, check this out. It's great that we're talking about this, because it makes a great segue into the next topic. Now, first off, I want to shout out to Sir X-Man hitting up that super chat one more time, brother. Thank you so much for the support. And he says, Xbot, check your DM, sent you something, and he sent me the post for Battlefield 2042 gave a list of what they are changing in the game after the beta. So I guess they're increasing tanks from 4 to 8. They're doing a bunch of things because they got a lot of feedback from the beta and from people who played. So shout out to you guys that got into the beta and gave back information. It's one thing to play the game and to go out on social media and complain about this or praise that or whatnot, but letting the developer know exactly what's going on with the game, what you liked about it and what you didn't like about it when it comes to a beta. That's what a beta is for, and I'm glad that they're actually using it as a beta instead of just a glorified demo to get people hyped for the game. So they listen to feedback. There's a whole list. I'll share it out on Twitter after the show. But I don't know if Pred or K Mega, did you see that, or should I put that in the DM as well? Or
about what? About a Battlefield?
Yeah, Battlefield. The list.
Yeah. I watched the video on it. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to you guys. You guys that were out there playing the game, having fun, but also making it better for everybody else when it comes out. You guys.
Well, people were complaining then. They're like, well, we'll make sure that you get the rockets to be more to have more devastation, or calm down the helicopters and the choppers. They're just too, like, I mean, it's
well, you're gonna have people that really go to extremes,
right?
And I know it makes it hard for the devs, but when the devs go back and they look at it and they're like, you know what? We could use more tanks on the map and stuff like that. And it's good to get the developers to kind of look back and be like, because once you get the game out in the wild, then you see different personalities, different mindsets. Like you play the game in different ways that the developers didn't even realize you would do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so they can go back and make changes and make it a better experience for everybody. So shout out to the people who put out constructive criticism and not just stuff to make the game better strictly for you, but stuff that you saw out there that they could change to make it better for everybody. But on that note, like I said, you created a great segue because reports came out about Game Pass, and I guess it didn't. Game Pass subscriptions did not hit the mark that Xbox and Microsoft had planned on them making. All right. Missed it. I believe it was by 11%. So when you're doing the math, I guess there's a little over 20 million subscribers to Game Pass right now. When I heard that, a lot of people were trying to create some negative kind of like wave out there when it comes to this, and tried to say how Game Pass is failing. Look at that, they didn't hit their mark, and all that stuff, and really trying to go in on Game Pass. People that don't play on Xbox really hate on Game Pass, and that's what tells you that Game Pass is such a good deal that like these people, these extremists, are afraid of it. They're afraid of this service, and they want to try to do anything to knock it down. But we're looking at like a little over 20 million people on Game Pass right now. And guys, I just want to put my quick thought on this. I think that's absolutely impressive. Because when you look at it, and the big games have not dropped yet for this year. All right, when we're talking about Forza Horizon, when we're talking about Halo Infinite's campaign, the real big games for the Xbox, the first party games, when they have not dropped yet, and you're still looking at a growth to up over 20 million people in that subscription service. If I were working at Xbox, if I were working at Microsoft, even though we didn't exactly hit our numbers, that's still a success to me. That's still growth, and we didn't even put out the big dogs yet. The big dogs are coming out. It's right around the corner, and we're already at over 20 million. Like I would look at that as a success. But K-Mega, since we ended with you, I'm going to start with you, and then we're going to go throughout the panel. What do you think about this news here? First off, they missed the mark on what they expected. What do you think that means? What do you think about people saying that Game Pass failed because of this? And do you agree with me that over 20 million right now, before Forza Horizon 5 drops, before Halo Infinite drops, and of course, Starfield comes out next year, we're starting to get the cranks rolling when it comes to first party games and such. to me, that's impressive, man. What do you think?
Oh no, it's like when you started it off, you said it wonderfully. Like, I mean, you look at things like, okay, you can go and you can check Apple, right? Apple claimed that it had less than 20 million TV subscribers in July. And that article was in September 2024 of this year. Okay, so like, I mean, you look at something like, Curiosity Stream, it hits 20 million subs, and then you got YouTube. YouTube Premium and Music has a little over 20 million subscribers. And you look and you keep going until you look and see look, AMC Networks top 6 million streaming subs. Their target was 25 million, but there's still a success. When you read everything like that, and I just Googled it while you was over there talking, because I was trying to get there before you got done. And you look at that, they're saying that those things are successes. So if Apple, who's cool, look, you look at the article, it says, look, 20 million TV subscribers. And we know how many Apple phones is out there in the world. We're talking about billions.
Apple
They're
phones,
still
MacBooks, like
right.
So many devices under Apple.
Right, and they're claiming that it's hey, and I'm saying that is a success. 20 million. So if Xbox is already over 20 million, and they don't have, and Xbox doesn't have nowhere near that type of reach yet to get to where Apple has gotten, what does that tell you? It is beyond it is overachieving. And and it's just like when we sit here when we talk about like Square Enix and for what they do, what they talk about with Tomb Raider, or what they said about Outriders with those studios, and they're saying, we had these expectations, they just didn't hit it. Well, I mean, every company has, big, huge expectations that they want to try to see because of, just what's going on. But then they don't know what's going to hit in between there. They just have an expectation. But if they hit to a certain number, then they're good. This right here is something that is not being done really in gaming, and especially at the way that Xbox has been doing it. And for people to gravitate to it, and already, Gamepass has been out since what, 2017, 2018? I think it's 2018. I think it might be 2017, but
might be. I think 20. I want to say 27. Ended like 2017 or so.
Something like that, right? Say. Right. And you're looking at this situation from now so you're saying what, about 4 years? You look at it in a 4-year term, and especially at the end of a generation that was at probably Xbox's lowest point. And to see that they got over 20-some million people on board, that's a damn good success. And when you look at the competition and what their streaming service or their services is, and they're like what, 5 to 6 or even lower, that is saying something. So again, the projection aspect of it, I made a video talking about it. I was saying those projections, yeah, they had that 11%. Is because last year Halo was supposed to come out, and
you don't think they adjusted their projections once it got?
No, because those fiscal year things is always at a different time frame, and I think at that point in time that they looked at that and they was like, okay, we'll go ahead and do that, because they didn't have, and I don't think they also they knew about the shortage of the consoles and things like that, but I don't think that they knew how bad the situation was. And I think that the whole Halo situation kind of threw them off because of the backlash that they got. So I think that 11% was a part of, Halo being there. And, what I'm saying? And even if it wasn't, and they projected that far or whatever, I don't know. But that's my thoughts about it, is that they were thinking that Halo was going to be coming out last year, which it was slated to come out last year, and it didn't meet that expectation because because if you look at it, what other big games were available at launch for the Series X? For them to have that because Cyberpunk wasn't going to be on Game Pass. So that's my thoughts. That's my initial thought about it. So like, I just think it was Halo was where they had that projection because, and then maybe they could have did something. I mean, Fred is better with the math and the numbers than I am, but maybe it was something to where they felt like they can double this year because of the fact of what they did the previous year. I don't know, but thinking it's because of the Halo situation, which they can definitely make that back up this year because of what's coming in another month and a half. And that's Forza, and then that's Halo. So,
well, the funny thing that I hear from you is like what I think you said. AMC, mm-hmm. They said 6 million subscribers. They were aiming for 25, but it's still a success to them. Yeah. Like it's still that right there. Such a big number disparity between that for AMC. And they're still like, well, it's a success because we got, the 6 million. You look at the 11% that they missed when it came to Xbox. That's nowhere near the gap that AMC had. How could that be a failure then in the eyes of
exactly
these people coming out?
And they're keeping the same guy. Look, I'm looking at it right here. There's the CEO Josh Spatton. He touts about the upcoming bonanza of fans of the Walking Dead franchise and all this stuff, and they're keeping him. They were this was one of those years that I guess they were going to decide if they wanted to keep him or not, and they decided to keep him. And they're saying like, look, the firm ended 2020 with more than 6 million streaming subscribers, including AMC exceeding its target and boosted its long-term forecast. So their projections was 25, but I think again because of the way that the way that they project, they weren't thinking about the whole pandemic situation. So if they succeeded, when they was looking at 25 and then they got 6 million, and that right there, I mean, you can go, it's the Hollywood Reporter. Just go look it up and just Google it up. It's the Hollywood Reporter Business News. And it says AMC Networks top 6 million streaming subs, targets up to 25 million by 2025. Okay, so that's what their target is, to 25 million by 2025. So that right there just tells you if they are seeing 6 million subscribers as a success, what do you think 20 million is?
Yeah,
or over 20 million. And I think that number is definitely going to get close to that, at least to that 25 when Halo and Forza drops. Well, because I forget what about a year when you got Stalker and you got everything else that's going to be dropping
at that time,
and there's going to be a lot of surprises that's going to be dropping at the beginning of the year. I think the VGAs is going to knock it out the park too on talking about what's going to be happening on the game, what's coming to Game Pass. So
nice, bro. Yeah, no, I think it's crazy that people, because they missed the target by 11%, people are like, yo, it's failing, and people are like, man, this PlayStation dude tried to play the sympathy card on social media. He's like, well, I hope they do better for Xbox to survive, and I'm like, dude, what do you mean survive? He's like, yeah, pull profits and stuff. I'm like, dude, they have had positive revenue year over year when it comes to Xbox. Where have you been? They are not in trouble. They don't need to survive. I feel it's a little ironic. It's a little funny that this stuff comes out now, right before Forza Horizon 5 drops, and that number gets so much bigger.
And somebody in the chat also brought up Age of Empires. I totally forgot about that. That's going to rake on.
Oh, Sparhawk. Yo, shout out to Sparhawk, man. It is good to see you, bro. Shout out to Leo. Somebody get Leonidas a chicken sandwich. I was in a party with him, and I found out his favorite food is chicken. He loves that chicken. Somebody get him a chicken sandwich, man. But let's go to Crispy on this one, man. Crispy, Game Pass didn't quite hit its mark. And of course, people were running to jump on this and say how Game Pass is a failure. Again, I feel they are scared of this service because it is such a good deal. And they know with 23 studios, first party day and date, there's going to be content for a long time going into Game Pass. And I feel that they're trying to do everything and they'll pick any type of information and try to spin it as a negative for Game Pass because they do not want it to succeed because they are indeed extremists. But Crispy, I need to know what do you think about the a little over 20 million so far with Game Pass, and what do you think about the reaction that Microsoft didn't quite hit their numbers, bro?
They're being modest. Think about it. Think about it for a second. Everybody says, "Oh, a little over." It's like 26 million.
I'd say more like 23, but okay.
No, if you just do the simple math, 0.3% times, we'll say 18 million, that's 6%, that's a 6 million increase. It's simple math. I mean, if you do that, it's about 26 million. And keep in mind that they've continued to announce these things months later, by the way. Then you have Halo, which, I mean, I'm sorry. Right now, Halo has more hype than like anything. Like, I don't see anybody hyped for Call of Duty. Pred is definitely hyped for Battlefield, and we understand that.
Crispy, when it comes to Halo, I agree with you. There's I'm not sure if it's going to make the absolute biggest impact because it's the campaign. Like what you're hearing hype from, and it's because we've seen it and we've gotten our hands on it, is the multiplayer. But with the multiplayer, you don't need a Game Pass subscription. It's free to play. So the multiplayer, you can take that out of the equation when it comes to Game Pass. Now, when it comes to the campaign, I think once we see the campaign and once they show, some extended gameplay of that, that's when we'll see if there's going to be a rolling amount of hype for that.
Just think about this. They're not. Look, they're going to shut people up with the campaign. All they're thinking about is the multiplayer. Okay? That they are making a game that is free to play, technically. If Sony would allow it on their console, they'd probably allow it to be there. They don't care. Okay? That's why you got the multiplayer. You ain't seen it, maybe when the 20th anniversary show happens. Maybe you'll see some campaign. That's what I'm telling you. They're hiding it behind. They're like, you know what? We know this is good. Let's prove to people that have never played our game that this multiplayer is actually good and it's actually fun. And I mean, they're doing it. Like, it's not my type of game, but I'm constantly like, that is really awesome. Like, I mean, the grappling hook and shit like that shit is like something that, yes, you've seen, but the way it plays in that game,
the way people are using it, man, it's
and that too, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's where I go and say, like, yes, it requires skill, but it's also a very like relevant like situation. Like, it's a FPS shooter, and people can get used to it, and they're more prone. I mean, look at all these Call of Duty fans. I mean, Battlefield has went back and forth. Like, yes, it has been single, FPS, but it's had third-person elements, and they've gotten rid of that completely. And now they're just all FPS. So, I mean, the only game that's really like relevant right now as far as multiplayer shooter FPS is Battlefield besides Halo. But all I hear is everybody talking about Halo. And I haven't seen this. I mean, I wasn't an Xbox gamer when that was a big deal. You know what I'm saying? But now I see it and I'm like, man, people are really, they just want to play this game. And they've already played it on the beta or flight, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And they're just like, man, I need more. And I'm like,
yes.
Like, and I feel that way about Gears. So how could I hate that? Like, that's the way I look at gaming. Like, I have an aspect that, many of the people that love Halo are going to be like, nah, I'm good with that. No, fuck this shit, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I get that, dude. Like, because I go and play Halo and I'm like, nah, dude. But I'm like, am I going to hate somebody for that? And I think that's where we get into this point where it's like, dude, why is people gotta always hate on what somebody likes? You know what I'm saying? Especially if they're not trolling you or nothing, just saying, hey, I like this game or I love this game or whatever. Like, this is my type of game. And just because it's not your type of game, you got to hate on them for it. Like, I think that's where we're at with the whole bullshit going on. Like, dude, relax. You know what I mean? Like, people need to relax and just, play the games they want to play. But also, if somebody's got something good to say about a game you don't like, that don't mean they're like singling you out like, oh, you don't like this game, but I love it. Like, fuck you. Like, it's like, that's the way people act. Like, I held the middle finger up even though I was just stating what I felt. That's it. Like, relax. Everybody needs to relax. Chill, because you're in for a new realm of what's going to happen.
There's another key crispy word right there. But shout out to what just happened. Said so if 20 million was the estimated number back in June, and that was the number in June, by the way. What is the estimated number now, 5 months later? And brother, I hear what you're saying, and it's definitely more. But I think it'll build up a lot more when it comes to Forza Horizon 5 and when that drops. You're definitely going to see a jump. You're going to see a jump for subscribers in Game Pass, both on PC and on Xbox when it comes to that game, because you're getting a full game from basically one of the most popular racers out there right now, and it's hitting on all cylinders, man. The game looks gorgeous, sounds incredible. When you look at the gameplay, I haven't had it. They didn't send me that little demo that they sent like other YouTubers and stuff. But when you look at people playing it, it looks like the gameplay feels good. Like you got 60 frames per second, which matter in a game when it comes to speed. And they're hitting on all cylinders right now. So there's definitely going to be a bump up. You're looking.
Oh, and it went gold, bot.
Yes, it went gold. It is done. It is done. It went to the presses, so this way discs can be made and such. So shout out to Playground, man. They are an incredibly consistent development studio, man. Like you don't see them hit a lot of like speed bumps in the road when it comes to development or anything like that. You don't hear them like, oh man, we're gonna have to push this back. We're gonna have to do this. We're gonna have to do that. They are on point when it comes to making their games.
Just think about it. Like so far, most of the Xbox's new studios that they have implemented is fine. The only one that people just keep going after is 343. They don't go after the Coalition. They don't go after Playground. So you know what I'm saying. I mean,
Coalition's staying quiet right now, man.
Well,
I think they're working
Obsidian, bro. Obsidian's quietly.
I mean, you don't see them going after Turn 10. You don't see them going after just tons of it. The problems that Xbox seems to have had is when they were having the problems with the second party titles. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, 343 had their little mix-ups, but if Halo is all good, then and everybody feels that the multiplayer is going to be absolutely correct. Only thing now is just to see what they're going to do with the story. So how and they don't dare talk about Ninja Theory, because you know what, that hurts a lot of those stands out there that Microsoft got Ninja Theory. They will be pissed, and you know how they are. It really doesn't make any sense. You should think they would be happy for them. If Hellblade is great, they're going to be hot about that shit.
Mega, you see that you could play Hellblade on your cell phone with the freaking touch controls.
I did see that.
Yeah, dude. Like, dude, Ninja Theory is all in on that. Like, dude, they're gonna.
Oh yeah.
Hellblade 2 is gonna be fucking ridiculous. I'm sorry. I'm calling it when it comes out. I don't know when it is. It's gonna be game of the year, bro. And if it's not, I'm telling you.
I said Ninja Theory is the team to watch out for. I you know what I'm saying? I mean, that was before they got Obsidian, but man, when they picked up Ninja Theory, when they picked up all their first slate of studios, I think Playground is amazing. But man, when they picked up Ninja Theory, I'm like, now that is the winner. That's the one right there.
Oh yeah,
That's
and
the
and
one.
and if you look at kind of like the clues in their teaser trailer, Hellblade 2 looks like it's going to be on a massive scale. Don't think that little kind of like AA budget game made to look like a AAA game when it comes to graphics. No, they are going all out on this sequel. So definitely think
All of
about
the shoulder of adventure, AAA banger.
yeah, definitely think about like don't think about it as like the next like Hellblade, because it's gonna be an epic adventure that's gonna span across like a huge area and stuff like that. So that's gonna be exciting. But we got to get to Pred Game Pass, man. I don't know if you're all about these numbers here. Microsoft Xbox didn't necessarily hit their projection. People are saying that's a fail, but we're looking at over 20 million subscribers here. I think that's a success because we haven't even seen Forza or Halo yet, man. What are your thoughts, bro?
It's a projection. That's what they're for. It's a guesstimate, basically. It's a goal. So like they didn't reach the goal doesn't mean they weren't successful at what they did. They just didn't get the numbers they wanted. If you look at the dates of, I guess, this report that came out, it's from June 2020 to June 2021. So Kamego was kind of correct. Like those projections were probably made like in, I don't know, fucking March, April or something like that. Maybe at the beginning of the year. I don't know. But Halo wasn't delayed yet at that time, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm pretty sure they were expecting some dividends from that when it comes to Game Pass. And a lot of the games they had on Game Pass probably didn't hit their mark, like like Flight Simulator stuff like that. But again, it's a projection. I'm not really worried about it. Like you said, 20 million or whatever it was. It's not a bad number. I think. And someone, I think you mentioned this, someone in the chat asked the question, like, if that was a projection, then what is it now? You got to think about what they got coming out down the pipe. So they'll probably be over that projection, depending on what it is. I don't know the numbers, but I'm pretty sure when Halo comes out, Forza comes out, the holidays hit, there's more consoles out there for people to purchase and that kind of shit. They'll be fine. I'm not really worried about Game Pass. Those numbers are going to go up and down depending on what's coming out too. So you're looking at a month like November, December timeframe when you have Horizon and you got Halo coming out. Those numbers are going to spike. Some people are going to getting Game Pass to try them out for a month or so, whatever, 3 months, and those numbers may drop back down. Depending on what comes in Game Pass in the beginning of the year. So they'll get their fill of Forza and Halo, and they'll just drop out of it. So those numbers are going to go up and down. So it's kind of hard to project when you don't have hardcore, like, I guess in a subscription-based service, people can drop out whatever the fuck they want to. So it's really hard to project that. Like how many people are going to stay in it. Especially when you have those fair weather fans that are going to come in and jump out when they feel like there's nothing in there that's worth their value. Like I know people that do that. They'll get Game Pass just for that month or so, month or two, play a couple of games, and even though they have a subscription, for let's say they have it for 3 months, they won't touch shit after that first month of playing because they got what they wanted out of it. I mean, you also have to think about the games they've had in Game Pass this past year. What exclusives did we have?
Oh damn, exclusives?
Yeah.
This past
That's what
year.
people. That's what those are the games that go on the Game Pass day and date, right? So you're looking at Flight Simulator.
Mm-hmm.
When did Gears come out? When did High Busters come out?
Oh, that came out last year, December.
December. So that was in that time period, though, right?
Yeah.
So, which was a kind of short game. I mean,
it was DLC.
It was DLC, but
Yeah, it was DLC, yeah.
You had those Psychonauts was this year. Was after that. I mean, and this is
you
sad,
had the Ascent. You had the Ascent in the medium,
so
but I don't even know if the Ascent is going to stay.
I don't think those are going to move the needle, but
right.
But you had some third party stuff in there too. You had Outriders in there around that time period.
Mhm.
So stuff like, I mean, there's
Destiny 2, man.
everybody already played Destiny or owned it already at that point.
And Destiny's are free to play now.
Yeah.
They gave all the expansions up to date though.
Yeah.
They did.
I just don't think there was enough offerings in there to keep people interested in it, but like when you have this next year, June 30, 2021 and June 30, 2022, I think they'll hit their marks then. And again, this isn't their financial statement for the quarter, just so you know. That comes out October 26th. So like this is just like when I read this, because I didn't get too in depth into it, but this almost read as if it was so for the people who work for the company or whatever had money invested, they get percentages back based off of how well something did. So they projected it would do certain numbers, and that would have given them either a 5% or a 7%, I guess, bonus or something like that. That's the way I kind of read into it, but I didn't go too deep
People
into
were
it,
saying that Satya and Phil aren't getting their bonus. A certain guy by the name of Dub City or something like that was really trying to put it out there.
Yeah, this. I have to find that article again and reread through it, but it almost read as if it was more or less these projections are based on what we think is going to sell and what you're going to get as a bonus if these numbers hit type deal. So again, this isn't their quarterly statement. Their quarterly statement comes out on the 26th. So this is something completely different. So those are the quarterly numbers when we get, I guess, in a week, those are going to be the ones. Those are the ones we normally talk about. So this isn't the stuff that we're talking about right now in this conversation. That's not the stuff that we typically talk about when we talk about earning calls or investor relations. This is completely different besides that. So the 26 is the numbers that you're going to want to pay attention to, not this one. So
all right,
there's that.
All right, man. I appreciate that. It's good for you to shed light on that, man. It's always good to talk the business side with you, man. You always tell me something I did not know or something to look at that like I was completely blind to, man. So I definitely appreciate that. Dark Optimus, who has been absolutely super quiet, not even talking any shit to the panel right now, bro. What do you think about these Game Pass numbers? They didn't hit the projection. When it comes to how Pred read it, didn't hit the projection for Satya and Phil to get their bonuses. But people out there are saying this is an absolute failure. We're looking at over 20 million subscribers. To me, that's a success. What is it to you, bro?
These people, man, I swear.
Dude, it's entertainment. When I work 12 hours,
I know it's definitely entertainment. I will say that it's definitely that. But come on, people, like, is it really that serious? No, it's not. I mean, yeah, they didn't get their bonuses. Oh well, like who cares if a CEO of a fucking company gets his fucking bonus?
I think they make enough per year anyway, man.
Exactly. So it's like, who gives a crap?
But it's a failure, right? Absolute failure. Xbox is dying. Come on, man.
No, dude. I don't understand why people would even want Xbox to die. To be honest, like that makes no sense at all. Seriously, like if Xbox goes away, who's gonna challenge PlayStation? Nobody. Nobody at all. What, PC? PC's not gonna do that.
Stadia.
Come on. like none of that stuff is. None of those companies are going to be able to do. Give somewhat of a competition to to PlayStation at that point if they completely go away, if Xbox goes away. And I don't want Xbox to go away at all. I don't want Halo to go away. I have my concerns with the campaign of Halo Infinite because they haven't shown us anything. But I mean, like even like what K Mega said before, like we had this same issue with Gears 5. And I mean, yeah, granted, Gears 5 had its issues when it came out. the single player had its issues. The multiplayer didn't have any issues at all, at least not from what I knew of when I played the multiplayer. But I mean, it's just I think some of these people, it's just something to talk about. It's just something to say. Oh, hey, look at what just happened, and then of course you get these naive people that are like, oh, somebody said this on Twitter. Can you believe it? Like, holy shit! Like Xbox is going away. They believe it. They believe this stuff, and then like they don't realize that like a lot of these dudes are just trolling. They're just messing around with you. Like they're not serious about a lot of this shit. They don't care. Like a lot of these guys. I know that there are some that do want Xbox to
I would say
to just
whatever words that come out of their
exist.
mouth, they wish it to be true.
Yeah, there are some people who wish Xbox would go
Jada
away.
City. Excuse me. Sorry. A little something
There-
in my
there-
throat there.
I don't know. I've never talked, so I don't know. I've had a couple of interactions with the guy on Mooch's podcast or on his stuff, but I don't even have interactions with him on Twitter, so I don't know him. I can't say anything bad about him. I can't say anything good about him either because I don't know him. It's just I think it's we're at this point of like we just got into this new generation of consoles. Like we haven't even seen what both of these consoles are capable of at all. Like we haven't even come close. Like you think Returnal or Ratchet and Clank is pushing pushing the PS5 to its limit? No, it's not. None of those games are. Like they're like even I don't even think Halo's really push
This is a nation.
Xbox to its limit. I think we won't really see that until we get to um the more the middle of the console generation. So we gotta wait and see where these consoles are gonna go, man. And the whole thing with Game Pass, like Game Pass, why would you even want it to fail? Like it's something that is giving gamers, you know, a reason to either own an Xbox or own a PC. Like it really is. It's
Yo,
like,
Dark, with all the money that you're saving by spending the subscription service instead of like fully buying those games, you can afford
dude,
a
I was
two.
able to buy
You can afford a 2 terabyte SSD
well that, and
for
I
your
was able to.
console.
Well, I was the money I saved to play Psychonauts 2 and this money I'm going to save to play Forza Horizon 5 and Halo. I'm going to be able to I was able to buy Far Cry 6. I'm able to buy all these other games that I want to play just to having the service. Like I enjoy having Game Pass. I mean, yeah, granted I don't use it as often as I should or
You
as
would if it's
often
on
as
PlayStation though. Oh, my bad.
I would probably use it more if it was if it had more games that I haven't played already, Like there's a lot of games on there that I've played or there's games that I'm like I have no interest in, So I mean there are some indie games that I really enjoyed on it. There was like Raji and what was the other one?
Dude, speaking of
Omno. I
that,
really enjoyed that
a new game came into Game Pass that you might want to check out. I think it's called Echo Generation. It is turn
Oh, okay.
based, but it's
Uh,
but
yeah, I'm very finicky with
yeah,
turn-based type
this
of
one
games.
looks good though. Dude, I'm gonna download it and try it out, man. It looks
I
good,
understand.
bro.
I tried playing the Ascent. I couldn't. It wasn't my kind of game.
That's not my cup of
Like
tea either, bro.
yeah, well, it wasn't my cup of tea. I can understand why people did enjoy it though. You know, but I'm really excited for Forza Horizon 5.
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna get a lot of utilization out of Game Pass with just Forza Horizon. To be honest.
All right, I got you, man. I'm also trying to catch up on the the chat while you were talking, man. So my
No, it's
bad for
okay.
the awkward silence there. Let's see. I think we all jumped on this topic, right? Everybody's covered. Everybody's
Yeah,
good.
everybody talked about it.
All
Yeah.
right, so we're gonna wind this down with the last one, and this last subject is about the Xbox anniversary celebration and how I'm telling people slow down, calm down, keep your expectations in check, because if you look at the name, it's Xbox Anniversary Celebration. And I believe Aaron Greenberg, a couple other Xbox people came out and said that they are not, there's no new game announcements with this celebration. I think it's November 15th is when they are going to air this. Now, I want to know from the panel what you guys think we're going to see. And I'm going to just give my quick rundown, and then I'm going to give it to the panel, so this way you guys can let everybody in the chat know what you think you're going to see there. I believe this is truly going to be an Xbox 20-year celebration. So I think they're going to talk about, the original Xbox, the 360, different things that went on with the development of that. I think they have to talk about the Xbox One, although I feel like they'd rather not, because that's history where, again, Xbox almost got spun off of Microsoft as a division of Microsoft, almost got spun off and everything. But I think they're going to go into the history. I do believe when it comes to something that we're going to see, I believe that the Halo campaign will be shown at this celebration. I have gone on record time and time again that it is Halo's anniversary year. It is Xbox's anniversary year. People are like, where is the campaign gameplay? Where is the single player campaign? Where's the story gameplay? What's going on? And I've gone on record time and time again. I was like, they're going to have an anniversary event. That's when you're going to see the campaign. And I am sticking to my guns, people. That's what I am talking about. I think that will be the headliner, the big thing that they show. But I think there's going to be a lot of interesting things to see in this. I got to check my work schedule. If I am not working, I will definitely stream it on this channel. I don't believe I'm working, but I got to double check. So, let's see. Let's go to Crispy first. Crispy, we have Xbox's anniversary celebration. Again, they said no new game announcements. And we were talking about this off the air before we started the show. What do you think is going to go on at this celebration? What do you think we're going to see? And are you excited, man? Are you going to watch it when it goes live?
Oh, I mean, if Halo isn't ready like a lot of people act like it is, and you won't see it. No, you're gonna see it. You're gonna see the campaign. They held back just enough. They got you hyped up when they showed it, but at the same time, you're like, I want more. And after the whole debacle with Craig and everything else, and how the demo looked and whatever, like, dude, if they show it in the glorious fashion, I know they're going to show it. People are going to go fucking ape. And it's going to be right before launch. And they're going to get people amped up. And then you download Game Pass and you get freaking Forza right there. And you're like, oh man, I've never played this racing game. If you're like some like hardcore, like, I shall not buy an Xbox. No, I finally have to think about it now. I see a lot of people like that right now. Like, is this bad that I actually think this looks good? Type things. You know what I mean? Like, I see people kind of like, like fighting with themselves, and all of a sudden they follow somebody like me I'm like, I don't give a fuck. You like the game? Play it. That's the way it looks. You could hate it, you could love it, but I don't know. I feel like, that anniversary, when they said there will be no new game announcements, like, bro, no new game announcements. We're talking like 10, 15 games that we haven't seen enough of, or we haven't seen DLC in a while, or we haven't seen any of it. Like, they could do all kinds of stuff. They could be like, bam, here's Avowed. Here you go. here's some like extended gameplay or just another teaser trailer. They could do whatever they want. They could be like Hellblade 2. Hey, it's been a real long time. You know what? It's 20 years. Let's throw it there. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, it could be nothing. It could be something where there's a couple clips where everybody's like, yeah, I'm ready. You know what I mean? And that's, I hope they do it because I feel like just going back to the past is not really looking to the future. And I feel like Phil mostly looks to the future or what he could use the past to make the future better type thing. You know what I'm saying? So he's kind of looking at it like, we have to bring up the past. The past is what makes us. But at the same time, if you don't look to the future and all they said is no new game announcements. I'm actually cool with that. You got Perfect Dark in there. I mean, come on. You want to go over the list? I mean, they've announced Fable. I mean, come on. I mean, some people will be fucking hyped for that. Not me, but you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, you could bring up remasters of games. That's
dude,
not
I
a
can
new
almost
game
guarantee
announcement.
with your lady, you're gonna end up playing Fable co-op when it drops.
Probably, yes, yeah, you're probably right. Because even I was playing Fallout the other, 2 nights ago, and she's like, oh, I haven't played this game in years, and I'm like, oh, you played this game? I was like, I turned real quick. I was like, oh, really? And she was like, yeah, I used to love, and she's like, it looks really good. And I was like, I don't know, I'm playing Fallout 3, and this shit looks really good compared to what I played. I'm just saying, and I'm like, Series X, thank you. You know what I mean? Because you experience something so many years later, and you're like, man, that looks way better than I even imagined in my brain after all these years. You know what I mean? And that's something that people could hate on it, but I mean, I don't have to pay.
Dragon Age Inquisition.
But that's the point. Dude, Dragon Age, whatever game you want to play, if it's on Game Pass, and it just the Series X running it makes it play so much better. And I'm like, dude, why can't PlayStation do this? Instead, they charge you money for these simple FPS boost, whatever it is, graphical fidelity better. It's dude, I don't even want to be a part of that now. Regardless of how I feel about the games themselves, the point is I don't want to be a part of a world where I can't experience a game I bought freaking 10 years ago and just be like, oh, it's irrelevant now. I never purchased it. It never happened. That's not cool. Just because I got a new console, I'm down with what they're doing right now. I'm sorry. It's perfect.
I hear you, bro. I hear you. And yo, shout out to Mizzle T Shizzle. Of course, he is a member of this channel. He said more back compact games announced and possibly released. That seems to be a trending thing going on within the community. People are talking about and asking for more back compact games. And I gotta say, again, Kung Fu Chaos. That's all I want. Actually, no, that's not all I want. Kung Fu Chaos and all 3 Fear games backwards compatible, and I will be happy. Pred, what do you think we're gonna see at this 20th anniversary celebration, man?
Nothing exciting.
Nothing at all, huh?
I try not to get my hopes up for these events like this, and especially the message that Microsoft has given us. They flat out tell us there's going to be no new games, and that means there's going to be no new games. And then we go, oh, well, there's games you've announced that you're going to show, Halo, stuff like that. I would think they would save Halo for something else, its own, even Forza, because we haven't seen.
But dude,
we
it's
actually haven't
3
seen
weeks before release of the game, man.
We haven't seen the Inside Xbox in how long?
It's
that's
been
typically
a
when
while.
that's typically when they, at least in the past, when they would announce, they put some gameplay out there and do the dev diary deal or whatever. And we haven't seen one of those in a while. We also haven't seen one for Forza either. but there's enough people with Forza out with the game now to give us that exposure we need. But
Well, they got the Let's Go streams that Playground Games does. They've been doing it like a couple times per
yeah,
month.
I've seen a
for
lot of
couple months.
YouTubers and streamers and stuff like that playing Forza and doing their own thing because it's in enough hands of enough people where you can get some footage of Forza out there now if you want it. Um, but I've not seen, like, you're right. I mean, Halo might be there. I don't think they're gonna give. I think really their mindset is like, we'll do this little anniversary thing, maybe give out some free gifts. We'll talk to some old devs who were here when Microsoft, first started Xbox and that sort of deal. Give out some more gifts. Give out a new console. Give out one of the consoles or something like that. To some people, and maybe play some games. But like, I just don't. How long is it? What, an hour maybe? Did they even say?
I'm not sure. I didn't see like I think they had the start date, the start time. They didn't have like the full length out
I'm in the
there.
mindset that they are just gonna be like, let's do this Halo thing. Let's do this Forza thing. Let's end the show in the year with a bang at the Game Awards and get the fuck out of 2021. And we're not going to give you guys anything else outside of that. And this little anniversary thing, which is an outlier because we don't have anniversaries every year like this, so it's a 20-year thing. So they'll do something big, but I don't think it's going to be like on the scale that we're wanting. Like I think it's going to be pretty bland and boring. To be honest with you.
So that means you're gonna be in the stream with me if I stream it, right?
Definitely not. Definitely not. So I mean, I'm just not. I don't get excited for these little micro events from Microsoft anymore because they kind of like we used to do this. We get all hyped, like, oh, they're doing an event. They sure nothing's coming. They're gonna do something, and then we get in there like they didn't do anything. Like they were like they said they weren't gonna do anything. Like I'm gonna listen to what they're saying at this point. Like they're not gonna do shit in the show, and just ride with it. If I get surprised, then I get surprised. But I'm gonna keep my hopes super low on this.
It's like Dumb and Dumber where they're like, no new games, and like everybody on Twitter is like, so you're saying there's a chance. Love it, bro. Dark, what do you think, man? And I know you're gonna join me if I stream. I know this, man. You are my partner in crime. Let's go. But what do you think you're gonna see? Xbox anniversary celebration.
Yeah, man. If I can, I'll try to join you. You know, these things happen. I don't know, man. I'm hoping they show Halo. I don't know if they will.
Well, it's also Halo's 20th anniversary as well.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
It would kind of fit.
I definitely could see them doing that. It definitely fits with that. So, but anything besides that, I don't really think they're going to show anything. I think they're just going to really just celebrate 20 years of Xbox. They're probably going to give some deals out. They're going to say, hey, we got this deal going on. We got this deal going on for these types of games, or we got Game Pass for this much money or whatever. Somebody's going to be like, oh, Game Pass is $1 again. Somebody's gonna say some shit like that, and then they're probably just gonna end the show.
You mean the people that took advantage of the whole dollar thing by souping up their Xbox Live Gold and upgrading for years, and then complain about the service for the years that they have it for $1? Yeah, those people.
Yep.
Okay.
That's exactly what's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. You know it. Like it's inevitable. It's just it's like Thanos. He's like, it's inevitable. I'm inevitable. Like it's just gonna happen like that. I don't know, man. I don't know if they're gonna show anything really. Too big. I mean, maybe Hellblade. I mean, I could see them being like, boom, Hellblade, bitches, or something like that. But I don't know. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I always enjoy watching anything that Xbox tends to do. I mean, there were some like their E3 was really good. Their Gamescom was kind of boring, but that's to be expected. I wasn't expecting them to
Yeah,
really
I'm not
show.
expecting anything big from Gamescom
Yeah,
anymore. But
yeah,
that kind of disappoints me because I feel like that's always a golden opportunity for because just how
yeah.
big Gamescom is, man.
Yeah, it really is. It really is a good opportunity. I think really what Microsoft is really focusing on is showing games at E3 and showing games at the Game Awards. Or doing something big at the Game Awards because they know people are going to watch that. They know people are going to watch E3 and they know people are going to watch the Game Awards. So, you know, this celebration I think is just really for the Xbox gamers who have been there since day one. I mean, I'm proud to say that I was actually an Xbox gamer day one. I
Oh,
bought
I'm so
my
glad you didn't say Xbox Live
I
beta tester. There's a certain person
no
out
I
there that. Oh man.
I bought my Xbox day one before I even knew it before I even knew it actually came out. Like I didn't even know what it was at the time. Like I was like, what is this? It was actually thanks to my pops that was like, hey, what's this Xbox? You see this game Halo? You see this game Dead or Alive? Because I was actually
Oh,
a
DOA 3.
Nintendo
Oh my goodness.
Dead or Alive 3, yeah, dude. Um, I love that fucking game. My dad was all like,
Eagle Fist.
You sure you want to get a GameCube?" I was like, at Xbox, and I saw Halo and Dead or Alive 3, and I got both of those games, and I'm proud to say that I was a day one adopter, the Xbox. So
Nice, bro. And I think you're gonna have people with their stories as well, like Darks right there. You're gonna
yeah.
have in the show of when they got into the whole Xbox ecosystem and
That would be. I think that would be cool to see some people were day one adopters of the Xbox. Just
yeah, just
even people who just didn't even know what it was at the time.
no
Too.
Xbox Live beta testers. Thank you very much because a certain person in our community killed that for me.
Crap.
Yeah. All right, let's go to K Mega. Last but certainly not least, our brother K Mega. K Mega again. I'm trying to tell people hold down their expectations here. I do believe we are going to see Halo campaign gameplay. To me, it just makes sense. Halo anniversary, Xbox anniversary. They're having a celebration 3 weeks before the launch of the game. Why not have the campaign gameplay there? But what do you think we're going to see, bro?
Yeah, that's next month, right?
Yes, November 15th.
Okay. All right. Yeah, no, I think that's when they'll show some gameplay. I do agree with you on that. Because that fits into the timeline of remember when they showed Gears? They showed Gears about a month before. It was a month or 3 weeks before. Um, they finally
That
revealed
is
the
true,
story.
and it came out
So
gorgeous too.
right, and so they want to make sure that they got all the T's crossed and the I's dotted. So that would just be the perfect time to show it. And um, I think that they'll show some deals like you're talking about. They definitely will talk. See, look, let's just be real here. Like, I mean, I know that the Xbox One was Xbox's probably worst generation compared to the
Had
other.
the worst stigma to it.
Yeah, it had, what I'm saying, had a stigma to it. But I mean, it wasn't as bad as the Wii U. So
Definitely
I mean,
is that your
there's nothing
positive
really.
spin on that whole thing? It's
No,
not
no,
as
no, no,
bad
no,
as the
no,
Wii.
no,
That should
no,
be the
because
marketing.
there was some fantastic games that came on the Xbox One, and that's
Oh,
what I'm
dude,
trying to get at. It's like
Sunset
even on the Wii U,
Overdrive,
there was some,
Quantum Break, Rise. Like you had the
like that first
Forzas.
slate of Titanfall, the first slate of games that came out in the first 2 years, Forza Horizon 2, like there was so many good games that came out in that first two, Killer Instinct, so many great games that came out in the first 2 years of Xbox One's uh, generation was top notch. Then it waned a little bit. It seemed like it was getting back into form when you seen Gears 4 came, Halo 5, that I got love for Halo 5, but still, again, it was more than just the games. It was more about the perception of Xbox and where the direction was going. It wasn't, and really, it goes back to that very first time when you seen that sign that they were saying they were beta testing the Xbox One for the future, and nobody wasn't understanding that at the time. But that's exactly what they were doing, because they were beta testing on on doing futuristic things that gamers weren't used
doubt,
to.
Fred.
And now they're looking at it from this standpoint to like, you know what? Damn. If we just let Xbox have their vision of what they were going to do, what would the Xbox One really be like? And what would the Series X be like? I think that the Xbox One X was kind of like the saving grace because of a bad start to the generation. But I think the Series X was always that console that was going to complement the Xbox One for what its true vision was. And that was, when they started talking about the rumors of, digital trade-ins and things like that. No one wasn't talking about that because digital games were supposed to be the devil at the time. No, the Xbox One era was not like
It's the devil.
Right. Wasn't
It's the
like
foosball.
all horrible. It was the messaging.
Foosball.
And Xbox's messaging at last gen was horrid. So that's what doomed it, because their messaging was just ass juice. So, and they learned from that. So I mean, I think that they'll definitely will go in history, and there shouldn't be any type of bad talk about the Xbox One. It's just talk about, like, there was a couple of down moments, but there was really some great games that came on there. And then I think that they will have some Game Pass. Maybe talk about some Game Pass games that'll come out within the month. I think I have another speculation here, could be completely wrong, but I don't know what people have been noticing, but there's a game that's coming out a day before Halo drops. And I just don't know how that game will be. I know that there will be people that will get the game, but everybody's going to be getting Halo before they'll get this game. And this is why I think this game is going to probably be slated to come on Game Pass day one, and that is Corvus, the spaceship game.
Yeah, isn't that like timed exclusive to Xbox or no?
I don't know. I don't know. I thought it was a multiplayer regardless. I didn't know if it was timed or not.
Well, I know, like, they marketed the shit out of that, like, when
they marketed, yeah, and so Corvus comes out on the 7th of December, and to me that just screams like, you know what, that needs to be a Game Pass game, and that could be a game that they could announce. If not,
well, I think that's a multiplat, isn't it?
Yeah, but so was Scarlet Nexus. So I mean, and Outriders. So that wouldn't matter. I think it goes into what I think whatever Xbox markets. I think that's kind of like their for the one games that they really pull for, or or something that could be a good game to put on Game Pass. If there's another game or so that people might try to gravitate to more, then that would be a good way to put that game out there. So that's my prediction on that. But I agree with everybody else. I don't think it's going to be something major. I think that they'll maybe talk about some backwards compatibility. That would be a good time for it, because that would be something that they would talk about.
Dude, where is this coming from? Like, everybody is talking about the
because
compatibility program.
Xbox came out with some stuff talking about, would you be? They gave polls and they asked. Matter of fact, if you was in the Insider Club, they even asked about backwards compatibility. So that kind of gives me the thought process of like, yeah, they might be getting ready to try to bring back some new games, and I think that would be a perfect time to talk about it, because that is another shining light on the Xbox One era, is backwards compatibility. So there you go.
Nice. Again, Xbox, if you're listening, Kung Fu Chaos, Fear 1, 2, and 3, please.
I need wet.
I need Max Payne 3.
Soul Calibur 5.
Oh wow! Here we go.
Yeah,
definitely Soul Calibur.
Yeah, Ninja Blade. Let's get that happen.
Soul Calibur.
Yeah.
You know,
you gotta-
is one and is it Max Payne 1 and 2 on backwards compatible? Because those need to be there too if they're not.
all the Max Paynes. Max Payne 3 definitely needs to be on because I know Jamie always talks about it, and I like it every time that he shows it. Like I'm like, yeah, it's crazy that the Max Paynes aren't on.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's like what?
Yeah, so
How
but
do you
that's
have Max Payne on there?
Well, guys, on that note, I believe we have come to the end of the show. Yo, shout out to the chat. You guys have been absolutely incredible. If you haven't done it yet, definitely hit that thumbs up button. Share the show out because people can watch it even after we go off the air. The funny thing about YouTube is for people who can't check the show out live, it'll be here waiting for people who want to check out. I believe this is one of the best shows we have had in a while. I had a lot of fun with the panel, with the chat. It was just a really, really good show to
Bastard,
be part
every
of.
time I'm on this damn show, it better be the best show ever.
I don't want to have fun with you, but I'm just saying.
When you say have fun with you, like my mind goes into weird places on what you're talking about, and I just
every time Crispy says that, I always think of the Cyndi Lauper song. You know,
girls just want to have fun.
Girls just want to have fun. You know,
he probably sings that when he wakes up in the morning, taking a shower before he gets to work. Like, can you picture that with the Marble Man voice?
Yeah, yeah, man.
Girls just wanna have fun. Girls just wanna have fun.
All right, this was one of the better shows, but we are quickly going downhill right now.
Turned into trash.
Yeah. But guys, like a 40-year-old with a comb over, it is time to get those plugs in, and we're gonna start with Crispy Lauper. Yo, Crispy, what do you got for an outro, bro?
What? Yeah.
I got you off guard. I caught you off guard.
Yeah. You definitely caught me off guard.
Crispy
and
Lauper,
I commend you, sir.
Hashtag Crispy Lauper to Crispy on Twitter right now, guys. Come on.
That'd be like one person.
It's
At Chris Bomb on Twitter, Chris Bomb 28 Xbox Live. You can find me tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. on Breakfast of Boom. We got the Retro Renegades, 7 p.m. Tuesday night. And of course, you can somewhat find me next week on the next podcast.
Where?
I don't know. Somewhat. I don't know. It might get a little interesting if Bot comes
through with what
makes happen what he said he was going to, and that I'll leave it at that because
next week might turn out to be a big show.
You might see Crispy go Crispy Bomb, bitches. Let's go.
Nice, bro. And Mr. Optimus, again, you were quite you didn't attack a lot of people tonight, man. I'm a little weirded out by that. You didn't tell anybody shut the fuck up or anything like that, but you did give awesome insight on the topics, man. Why don't you hit this chat with your outro, bro?
Yeah, man, I'm proud of myself. I didn't say anybody was a backward hillbilly, you know. I just
wow. You didn't say that at all today.
I didn't get to say it. It kind of irks me a little bit. But no, you guys can find me on Twitter, Dark Anonymous. You can also find me on Xbox and PlayStation at the same name. And as always, you guys can find me here on the next podcast every Thursday.
Nice, bro. And shout out to what just happened. You are 44. Brother, I'm only 2 years behind you. I am 42, believe it or not. Some people say I sound like I'm 13, but I am indeed 42.
No, you sound like you're 12, dude.
He's 12. He's 12. He's definitely 12.
You're not even teenage.
I thought I was talking to your dad when I was playing games with your son Sunday.
Dude, I heard you beat him once.
I beat him like 3 times. He told me
about
once. 5-3.
He told me once.
Oh no, I beat him
Definitely.
like 3
I'm
times.
gonna have to check out that stream. That stream's up on Twitch,
Yeah,
right? All
the
right.
streams up on Twitch. Yeah, I beat him 3
Your
times.
18-year-old kid definitely sounds
Yeah,
way more
yeah.
He's a lot
older
taller
than
And,
he is.
and bigger than me as
and,
well. He's
and
like,
I got a new strategy, and I got a strategy too for his coming at for being overly aggressive. So I you know had to
oh,
go
he
to the
is
fighters
definitely
guild.
overly aggressive in this game. Like,
Yeah, and so now I know what to do. So I had to go to the fighters guild, get into the lab, and then I figured some things out. And okay. I don't really like doing that, but I was kind of figuring it out when we played and when I got that last match before he beat me, the other match, the second to the last match, then I kind of figured then, but I was like, ah, shit.
dude, it was
But,
fun.
yeah,
I wish I could have stayed more,
it
man. But
was
I
fun.
had to
I
be.
wish you did because our fights was good. We got a tiebreaker to do. You know what I'm saying? So we
Yeah,
got to do that.
we brought it down. Like our health bars
One
were
hit. Yeah.
low. Yeah, like they
Yeah, it was good
were
stuff.
good ass
Fun.
fights, brother. Good ass
Yeah.
fights, man.
Real fun.
But on that note, bro, it is your time to shine, man. We know
Yeah.
GRG. You gotta let them know about GRG. You gotta let them know what's going on with your streaming,
Yes, sir.
YouTube channel, all that jazz, bro.
All that jazz. Yeah, thank you guys for checking out Fight Night Sundays. I mean, I get hit up every not every day, but every week, multiple times where people are like, man, I wish I could catch it. Because Sunday night is a weird night. I know, what I'm saying, you gotta be a bum and not be working on Sunday nights or not working at all or whatever. But that's fine. I'll be one. But yeah, no, I mean I will extend Fight Night, you know what I'm saying? But it's just I got all these other things that's going on right now, but I will definitely do that. But yeah, check out Fight Night Sunday on Twitch. I also started a new YouTube page. I sent you an invite, bot. I don't know if you've seen it, but I got rid of the old one.
Oh, really?
And so yeah, because it was all messed up and flustered and stuff. So I started another K Mega GRG Facebook page. So you guys want to come out there, and if you content creators, you want to plug your stuff and post some of your stuff, and then I'll just get to know each other. Come on in. It's open to any and everybody. You know what I'm saying? If you start doing that console war shit, I will. It is monitored. I will give you the boot. I mean, it's okay to a degree, but it ain't. I don't want all that
Ejecto
craziness.
seat.
Yeah, we'll get the Ejecto seat killers real quick, but I will post more stuff about that. But then, yeah, of course, tomorrow night, the GRG podcast will be live and in effect tomorrow. Tomorrow night, because next week I will finally have my operation on my hip. Oh my God, finally. One of these surgeries is going to go down, so I will not be having the show next week. But
K Mega sounds like he's like 82 or something.
bro, my body feels like
Subscribe
it's
to
a
Pred's
it's-
OnlyFans.
It's 60. It's 60,000. Shit. But yeah,
Jeez.
but it's not. I have a.
For the surgery, it's 60,000.
No. I'm saying my body feels like it's 60,000.
Oh, I was like,
got-
oh shit.
I got
Like,
I got
damn.
I got injured about almost 3
Mm.
years ago, and so I've been dealing with these ongoing issues, but I finally get one of these surgeries, and so with my hip, it's not a hip replacement or nothing. I got a tumor in my hip, and from the
Oh,
fall,
shit.
and so it's been there, and it's been growing for the last 2.5 years, and so the damn thing.
Damn it,
you
K
know,
Mega.
Now I feel like
you
I feel
killed-
like a
You
dickhead.
killed my joke. I was gonna say K Mega's finally getting his sex changed, but you done killed that.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
yeah. So it'll be K Willa. Let's call it.
K
Oh my
Willa.
But yeah,
God.
no. But I'm finally getting that damn thing taken out. So that's a damn blessing. So
Yo,
yeah,
you're gonna
so,
put it in a jar, put it up on the fireplace, and name it, right?
Fuck no, I'll set that son of a bitch on fire, burn it. But yeah, but thank you guys though for the support and all that. So yeah, I'll see you guys next week. I will not next week, but tomorrow night, and we'll have a good damn show. Have a good time.
Nice, brother. Yo, Bunty, what is up, bro? Dude, you're coming in at the end. You're gonna have to go back and check out the show. We had a fire show tonight, Bunty. Definitely, hit up the comments once you're done watching it and let me know what you think. Yo, Dark, can you do me a favor? Since you are his #1 fan, can you go ahead and promote Predator's OnlyFans? Let people know the name and let people know Predator's stage name for his OnlyFans as well, because I don't think they know that.
I don't even know, dude. You put me on spot. I don't even know what to say.
You know.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
yeah. Just play that shit.
I'm gonna let Pred know that you did not promote his OnlyFans. He's gonna be looking for double the revenue from you coming up, bro.
Well, Daddy wants to feel special, you know. Just tell him that.
Subscribe to Pred's OnlyFans. Yes.
It's under Pred. I don't know,
Pred
dude.
the
I was trying to
Impaler.
think of something. Yeah, I was trying to say something like, clever, and
That's
it
horrible.
just fell flat.
That's horrible. The way you said that, all of a sudden in my mind it said Pred the Impaler, and then I thought about what that described, and I'm like, yo, that is horrible.
All right.
You thought about the Predator movies, right?
We gotta get out of here now. Y'all on some bullshit.
Yo, see, K Mega knows what I'm talking about. It is way over Dark Optimus's head right now, man. We'll explain to him what was going on as we go off the air. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We are here every Thursday night, 8 p.m. And of course, Crispy, that is
Prime time.
That is right, prime time. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. And until next week, we will see you next week for the next podcast. Have a great night, everybody.
Fucking prime time, bitches.
This is Steve Downs, the voice of Master Chief, Spartan 117. And you're tuned in to Next Podcast. Now, wake me when you need me.